25 guys averaging 20-plus points. That's only happened one other time in it.
Reed was going to NFC Championship game. He even went to a Super Bowl.
It went to like 5
and
or 6.
NFC Championship game. They got a hell of a team. They call plays that bitch like.
Welcome, everybody. What up? What up? Glad to have you guys on board with us tonight. We're in the midst of playoff basketball. It's been a very eventful first round, and it may continue tonight. Some teams fighting for their lives right now, bro. My name is Kenneth Inch. Joining me, we got FIFO, Shelton,
What's happening?
Spike,
What up, though?
and we got Nick and Q on board.
We here.
What's going on?
What's good?
Yep. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, man. If let y'all go ahead and get like here my Eris washed. Hey man, Marty, it get like that sometime, bro. Hello from T Dot. You don't want to be saying hello from T Dot right now, bro.
From today.
That's the last place.
I don't even want to be light skinned today. Like that shit crazy.
Yeah. So
I don't want to hear you say nigga no more.
No more.
yeah, Rob Shelton's finally finished from finished driving. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead in Sports. Welcome once again to the show every Tuesday at 9 p.m. We are glad to have you guys on board. Make sure you guys check out our other shows, Dead in Gaming, Dead in Hip Hop. We'll be live tomorrow talking about the K-Dot diss towards Drake at 9 p.m. So make sure you guys check that out. Also check out Frames Per Second. We just wrapped up Shogun to a lot of people's a pleasure. And but we got a jam-packed May in store for you guys as well. But we are here to talk about sports. It's definitely been eventful. Right now, we got the underachieving 76ers struggling to hang on for their dear playoff lives against the New York Knicks. A guy by the name of McBride and some other randos.
You see how media can spin narratives? Struggling to hang on.
It's 80-77. You know, you're talking about
That's
a team that
80 to 77, Ken.
Do you trust this team to hold on or win this game?
I do.
The Knicks,
Bruh.
Not
Did
the
you not
Knicks,
watch
Philly.
game 1 and 2?
I did.
they down 3-1. You won't think they struggling?
Look, the reason why I don't feel like they're struggling is because the Knicks, to my eye test, haven't looked like they look like they are damn near playing as best as they could, and Philly still hasn't even really hit their stride.
Well, they're not going to get a chance.
Bro,
To
they 6
FIFA. We're going to
away
get
from
to that
going
in a
home.
second.
They're gonna be in Cancun in about an hour, bro.
But
I think Philly pulls this one out.
The whole series.
we'll see.
I didn't say that they was going the whole series.
But let's jump to
They're gonna win this game.
all right, here y'all go.
They not.
Let's jump to the draft before we get into
Oh, we still with the draft.
some basketball. Look, he gonna perk up now.
Yeah.
For what?
Shout out to Rob and Adrian. They joined us on the draft live stream. So appreciate having you guys on board. We reacted to all of the picks in the first round Thursday. Yep. So yeah, it was fun. They
Shelton was driving to Detroit.
Yeah, darkness returned. Returned to the NFL draft.
Darkness.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
So crazy.
At one point in time, we kept seeing a lot of Drakes running through there.
That's real.
Yeah.
Anyway, with the NFL draft concluding this past Saturday, many believe the Chicago Bears came away with the best draft. Should the expectation for the Bears be to make the playoffs this upcoming season?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
No.
Yes.
No.
They won 7 games with a worse roster. They have a better roster, a better potential quarterback, better playmakers on the outside, better running back. What do you mean? No.
It's a first year quarterback.
No. Personal
Other,
quarterback.
other than CJ Stroud, first year quarterbacks don't go to the playoffs.
Andrew Luck. I can name a whole bunch of them, Spike. I can name a whole bunch of them. The thing is this.
Andrew Luck went to the playoffs his first year?
Yeah. So the thing is this though. Typically first year quarterbacks don't go into a situation as great as what the Bears have been able to produce for Caleb. They didn't do it for Justin. They drafted Justin. We had question marks around the guys that they put around him. But going into this particular season, we're talking Keenan Allen, right? He is, when he's healthy, and I understand that is the biggest question mark about Keenan Allen in general. But when he's healthy, he is one of the better. He's upper middle tier wide receiver in the league, right? DJ Moore is upper middle tier. Romeo Dunze, we talking 6'4", 220 something?
Yeah.
It's a big motherfucker. And then he's fast for his size. Pause. Then we talked about DeAndre Swift, upper middle tier running back in the league. We know that defense is upper middle tier. And then the quarterback, let's be honest, coming into the NFL, Caleb Williams is rated higher than Justin Fields as a passer. Right. So all I'm saying is that everything is there for a young QB to be successful. We're talking about a top 3 wide receiving core. If I didn't even mention Cole Kmet, upper middle tier tight end. So the thing is this, I'm not expecting Caleb to come in and be a savior. What I'm expecting him to do is be Dak Prescott.
He's gonna be
as a rookie. You look at what Dak Prescott was able to do as a rookie. You can't tell me that the number 1 pick in this year's draft that everybody's saying is generational can't have a decent to middle tier season. If he does that with the weapons that they have and the good defense that could potentially be great, they shouldn't make the playoffs.
No.
They won 7 games.
But
With a lesser roster. They should win 10 to 11 with a better
the
roster.
Packers are better and the Lions are better.
How are the Packers?
They have a better quarterback, a better roster. They have a better coach.
Do they have a better roster?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On what side of the ball?
Offense and defense. Yeah, the Bears. They should win 7 games, like you're saying. I wouldn't expect them. Like they should be competitive, but to go to the playoffs, I think that's a lot to ask for Caleb Williams. That's a lot to ask for a coach who we seen fumble the career of Justin Fields right before our eyes, who shouldn't even have a job today. Like there should be another coach in Chicago. So it's a lot to ask for them to be better than 2 teams that went to the playoffs and succeeded. The Lions went to the NFC Championship game last year. The Packers beat
the Lions only got better.
Game.
The Lions definitely got better.
The Lions got better, and the Packers are better. The Packers are going to be a much better team than they were last year. We didn't know about the Packers until maybe week 12, 13 of last year. We were still on the fence. When they got to the playoffs and kicked our ass, then it was like, oh, man, Jordan Love, he might be here. I know you were singing Jordan Love's praises before then, but even then, I expect Jordan Love, if you told me that Jordan Love goes into this year, he balls out and not saying he win MVP, but has a MVP-like season like Dak did last year, I wouldn't be surprised at that. And then you got the Lions who people, they're on the ascension, people think they're going to be good. I don't think there's any way the Bears make the playoffs. It would be a miracle if they made the playoffs. But I don't think that means that Justin Fields has a bad first year.
Caleb.
I think Caleb Williams. I think 7 wins, 8 wins, 8 and 9. I think that's good for them. That's good for a first year quarterback. Playoffs is a lot to ask.
I think in the NFL now, 10 wins get you on the doorstep of making the playoffs. 11 wins definitely get you in. Mm-hmm. I think that last year with a lesser roster, winning 7 games in that division, we know that the Vikings, they're taking a step back, right? So the wins that they had, they're not going to have this season. So that means that all 3 of those teams that we're talking in the NFC North are going to eat a little bit more. I also think that, and obviously we still have to see the schedule, I think the Bears are going to be able to eat on lesser teams because they have so much talent. Now, here's the thing about the Packers. I don't disagree that they are a talented roster, but when I look at the wide receiving core, that Packer wide receiving core is still ascending when I know what I'm getting with 3 out of the 4 guys that's going to be pass
You
catch.
don't know.
So we don't know what we're getting out of
Romeo
DJ
gonna be
Moore,
good, bro. You don't know if that's
He
going to
talking about
translate. He ain't
commit.
played one NFL down though.
No. What I'm saying is, I know what Keenan Allen is. I know what DJ Moore is. I know what Cole Kmet is.
Okay.
And what I'm
I thought
saying,
you meant the rookie. My bad.
nah, I'm leaving the rookie out of that. Right? He's the 4th pass catcher that's going to be a predominant piece of catching the ball in that offense. What I'm saying is those 3 guys, in my opinion, is better than the Packers' 3 main pass catchers. The Lions, I even put them above the Lions a slight bit, but I'm gonna rank them a little bit down because the Lions went further and they were one of the most explosive offenses in the league last year.
FIFO, do you think that the Bears are going to win that division if they make the playoffs, or they're going to be a wild card?
I think they'll probably be a wild card because there is still going to be a learning curve for Caleb. As good as the pieces are around him, it's still a jump. There's still a jump. And like you said, Lou, I think the biggest question mark in this whole thing is the head coach. So he fumbled Justin Fields' career. We all agree to that. I don't know what it looks like with Caleb, but again, the pieces around him, it's undeniable, bro. Like, we know what Keenan Allen is. We know what DJ Moore is. We know what Cole Kmet is. We know what DeAndre Swift is. Like, those are known commodities.
I mean, that's never stopped rookie QB from not going to the playoffs before just because they had a good roster. Like, Justin Herbert went into a great situation. He didn't do shit. So it's like, and plus it's a similar conference makeup when you look at the fact that the Chiefs are in that division as well. So it represents kind of like that Packers point, where you have a reigning type of champion in the conference. But I don't know, man. I don't think that you can expect Caleb to go to the playoffs. I think that might be the operative word here. But you definitely shoot for the playoffs. You definitely gun for the playoffs. And just because you don't expect Caleb, in my estimation, I don't expect him to get to the playoffs. That doesn't mean that the Bears organization shouldn't also penalize the coach for not making it. Because in theory, yeah, you should. But me personally, I'm not expecting it. And I don't think fans should. But internally, you're definitely putting pressure on the coach to be like, hey, look, if we are not at least in contention for a wild card, if I don't see us fighting and building great habits, if I don't see revelations being made with different players coming into their own or different surprise players coming up, I need to see all of that if we don't make it. But I think that internally you have a different conversation. Fans are you can't expect from Caleb as great as this roster could look, because in theory, it's just theory. You still got to go out there and play those games.
100% Q. I'm glad you brought up the Chargers, because the Chargers was great on defense. Offense, their 2 main pass catchers was always often injured, right? They had also
that's the same person that you accredited
one of
for
them.
The Bears, Keenan Allen.
One of them, right? They drafted a rookie that shouldn't have injury history, right? DJ Moore, we know, is super solid. We know DeAndre Swift is super solid.
But
we know
a big part of that success is going to be Keenan Allen, right?
And this is the thing that I love about it. It's not predicated on Keenan Allen being good or bad. It's just another weapon that's out there. Because to me, the best wide receiver on that roster is DJ Moore. DJ Moore does everything at a higher level. He doesn't have the physical side. Keenan Allen is 6'4", 6'5", bro. Like, you can't teach that. You know what I'm saying? I think DJ Moore is like 5'11", 6 foot. But DJ Moore, in my opinion, maybe not as a polish of a route runner, but definitely is a route runner. You could put him at end around. Like, he is a guy that you could put and do a lot of different things in the offense with him. You know what I'm saying? You put him in the side, you put him outside. You could create matchups with him. DeAndre Swift, the same way. You don't want to see DeAndre Swift one-on-one with a linebacker. He's going to win 9 out of 10 times.
My thing.
Also,
Oh, no, go ahead. Go finish your point. My bad, FIFO.
But the fact that Q brought up the Chargers, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, the biggest question in any NFL team is injuries. So we don't know how healthy they will be, right? I can't predict that. I'm just going based off of the talent that's on that roster, also with the talent of Caleb Williams. If Caleb Williams is who we all think he's going to be, he should be the best quarterback by the end of the season in that division. Should be.
Yeah. My thing. Go ahead, Sheldon.
I was just gonna say I like the fact that he's very confident going in. He's showing a lot of confidence. He's saying the right things. He seems to be talking the part. Of course, he's still got to go out there on the field and produce. But this team had Detroit beat twice last year, and like people said, it was a weaker team that was doing it. They were better than Detroit twice for 3 quarters in both games, and this team is primed to take that next step. You add a 1,000-yard rusher with receiving skills, and you add a number 1 receiver on this team. And
so you think they're going to the playoffs soon?
I think so. Brock Purdy did it as well as a rookie. So
he had a better football team and a better coach.
Better coach. And another thing, Q, I feel that the Bears, if they don't make the playoffs, they definitely need to move on from the coach. Not because
100%.
not just because you didn't make the play. It's because of everything that happened before what this roster is. And I feel like the Chargers were 2 years too late in terms of moving on from their head coach. And I think that when we kind of like I said, we know what DJ Moore is, we know what Keenan Allen is. If the Bears look similar and win 7 or 8 games, then we know what the problem is. It's not the roster. It's the head coach. They got to move on.
I don't think that they have a terrible roster, but I vehemently disagree with you saying that he would be the best quarterback in the division. I think Jordan Love is he sit for 3 years behind Aaron Rodgers for a reason, and it's translated on the field. Jared Goff has been to an NFC Championship game and a Super Bowl. Even though I'm not in love with those people, I think after 1 year saying that he would be better than them, I just don't. I don't see it. I don't think that's possible.
I said if he's supposed to be what we all think he's supposed to be, he will be.
Even Patrick Mahomes wasn't that in his first year, bro.
Shit, that motherfucker, he was the guy.
Yeah, he came out.
His first year
when he played. The first year he played.
But again, that wasn't 1 year starting though. That was a year after sitting behind.
What the fuck he gonna learn from Alex Smith? What he learned from Alex Smith?
Well, he still got to learn the game.
What he learned from Alex Smith?
He learned a lot from Alex Smith.
What he learned?
I think
he learned how to play
if I recall, he
quarterback,
said he learned from Alex Smith.
Let's be for real. Let's be for real, people.
And what I'm asking is what? Because it wasn't.
I don't know what.
Okay, but what I'm saying is it wasn't until year 3 that Pat Mahomes said that he was able to learn how to read defenses. So he ain't learned that from Alex Smith. He ain't learned how to throw the ball from Alex Smith. But what he learned from Alex Smith?
You being facetious, but you know that there's stuff to learn from someone who's been in the league playing quarterback. You know that.
Of course, nuance, right? Study habits, things like that. I give you that.
If you throw in, it's proven fact. Peyton Manning, the people that started from day one, they're not as good in their first year as they grew to be. I'm not saying that you're wrong. He will be the best quarterback in that division someday. I wholeheartedly believe that. I think that he's a good player, but I don't think after 1 year having to learn on the job, not being able to sit, he ain't gonna have the benefit of being like, hey, Patrick Mahomes. Like you said, it's not gonna happen.
My thing is CJ Stroud did it last year.
Who?
And Brock Purdy the year before. So we can't necessarily say that. I'm saying
Brock Purdy didn't do it. Brock Purdy didn't do that.
But CJ
Stroud did it, and that's an anomaly.
But here's the thing though. CJ, when you talk about guys like CJ Stroud, Dak Prescott, they all have a black sheep tag on them as okay, let's see what's going to happen here during the season. They weren't touted, especially Stroud. He had so much dirt thrown on his name when he got drafted. People were like, oh, OSU QB, it's not going to work out. Dak Prescott, oh, he looks good in preseason. You remember, bro, Spike, you remember half of Cowboys fans thought that they needed to bring Romo back in after 3 games. And there was half of them
wanted him back. Exactly. People wanted Romo to start.
And half of the people were like, no, give the boy a chance. With Caleb Williams, he's the incumbent. He's like the prince of the city now, in theory. And if you're the Bears organization, I think that you have to have one mindset about it. And if you're the fans, I think you have to have a different mindset. I think internally, an organization like Chicago should be shooting for the playoffs. During media sessions, I think coaches will be talking about we're gunning for a spot. We think that we're good enough to compete. And the internal part of Chicago should be looking at that GMs and being like, all right, it has to look different, to FIFO's point. Fans, I don't think you can reasonably expect a rookie QB to make the playoffs off top. But that don't mean that you don't use, if you're the GMs and the higher up brass of Chicago, if you don't use Bill Belichick being a free agent as leverage. Like Caleb Williams and Belichick might be the next iteration that they use to be like, hey, if we don't see some severe improvements, we're going to go get, a proven GOAT in coaching to go get our young stallion, running like ahead of the pack. So that's where we're at now.
Belichick is the answer, though.
No, I like that.
I
That's good.
feel
No, I like
I
that,
feel the
Q.
ideology.
That's good. Like if I'm
You
the
like Bill
Bears,
Belichick?
if I'm
Hey,
the Bears, I
they
would fire
got-
my coach tomorrow for Bill Belichick.
I don't know about that.
I think I would too. Well, I don't know about that, but with the young
Well,
quarterback.
let me be the voice of reason right now, because because how many times have we been having these conversations about the highly touted number 1 overall pick at QB, just for them to be we're still waiting, we're still clicking. FIFA, we mentioned like the outliers as Andrew Luck, and I don't even know who else since then as far as a first overall. Or well, he wasn't first overall, but like you know what I mean, like
first round pick, bro. Like,
but he wasn't. No, I'm saying like he wasn't generational talent like how they saying Taylor Williams is. We barely expected him to be even successful his first year, even as the number 2 overall pick, especially going to Houston. My thing is that the Chicago Bears have done a great job at surrounding Caleb with talent that they didn't do with Justin Fields. But the points that were made as far as the first thing is the division. The reason why Dak Prescott could be so great as a rookie in his first year was he was dealing with the NFC East, which was trash at that time.
Stop it.
Yes, they were. The Giants weren't. The Giants haven't been good since 2011. The Eagles weren't that good at that time, I don't believe.
Washington's never been good.
And Washington has never been
Eagles
good.
have never been that good.
So to me, there's that, and then so you're talking about the NFC North, where you like you mentioned, Lou, you have Jared Goff, who's pretty much the best QB in that group right now. You have an ascending Jordan Love, who was one bad throw away from going to an NFC Championship himself. Like, so I can't expect Caleb to jump them and to win more games than those two teams right there, especially since both those teams have deep playoff experience already. The head coach is the biggest thing. I'm glad that everybody addressed that. The head coach is what's going to hold that team back. And we also got to see how Caleb adjusts to the NFL. He talking cash shit as far as this for his transition is making it seem like we about to just run the league and shit like that. But I don't know about that. I just think that the expectation should just be, can you just win 7 games? I think that's the thing. Can you match what Justin Fields did? If you can match what Justin Fields and win more than that, then that's great. But if to me it's like, can you win 7 games? Can you even prove that you are NFL QB at a high level?
Look, first of all, you don't get picked first overall as a QB and you're not touted as a high level producer. Let's quell all of that. Now, I'm not saying that there haven't been busts. Of course, there've been busts. Right. Number 1 overall. But when you watch the film on Caleb, do you see busts?
We said the same thing. We said the same thing about Trevor Lawrence, bro. We said the same thing about Trevor Lawrence.
But I don't think Trevor Lawrence is a bust. I don't think he's generational. I think he's proven
that's
that.
What he was. That's what he said. That's what
Williams could be Trevor Lawrence, though. That's what we said.
But I understand that he was touted as generational. But let's be honest,
and he looked better than Caleb in college.
He looked way better than Caleb in college.
He had way more talent around him too in Clemson.
He looked better. He got national championship rings.
That
man didn't lose a game for 2 years.
All of that.
We can't say him and Caleb was on the same level.
But even if Caleb is not generational, and that's why I said if he is Dak, they should win more than 7 games.
I think you put too much on him.
But they're
that's a lot to put on him.
Yeah, let's look. Yeah, let's go to Atlanta, and I'll say it's time to hand the keys over to Maxey, bro. Get Embiid out of here.
I told you.
Maxey is the one. I've gained so much respect for Maxey just in this game, not just this game alone, but this whole series. He's been a dog.
Yeah,
this whole season,
Maxey good.
So I
this man just scores 7 points. Under 30 minutes. To send it to OT.
Yeah,
that's
all. Oh, damn! He went to OT.
Yeah, they just went to OT.
Yeah, this shit is
crazy. Yeah, and the game time 3, he shot that way back.
He shot that in Atlanta
for real. And speaking of shooting shots, the GM in Atlanta shot his shot with the 8th pick by taking Michael Penix Jr. and pissed off all the white folks in Atlanta and
Cobb County,
everywhere, bro. Georgia was hot. Hey. They were like, "We got our guy, Kirk Cousins."
Hall County, all the outskirts of Atlanta, boy,
they were talking about that for days, bro. They just didn't understand.
Left-hand black quarterback.
Not again.
Man, I'm telling you,
that's what
bro.
they said. Not again.
You're right.
Shit.
It's been a few days, man. How do you guys think about the pick now? Because it was a shocker to all of us, especially on the stream. We were like, man, what the hell just happened?
It didn't shock me as
Now,
much as it
FIFA,
shocked
stop
y'all.
it.
It didn't.
Nobody expected them to pick him.
I didn't expect, but when the Falcons were up, were you on the stream at that
I
point?
wasn't at that time.
Okay, Ken could tell you. I asked everybody that was watching. I was like, "Hey, what is Kirk Cousins' actual contract? How much guarantee? How many years?"
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was looking at, because we expected other teams to trade up, right? We expected some movement, and everybody stood pat. So I'm like, "Wait, hold on now," because obviously the first 20-some picks was all offense. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a defensive guy. And to me, what the Falcons, quote unquote, needed wasn't offense. It was more defense. So if I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, well, at 8, we saw the first 3 damn people taken off the board was QBs. The next best person just in general is Penix. So I'm like, well, damn, hold on. What does Kirk Cousins' contract look like? So when they selected him, I'm like, well, shit, it made sense to me. It made sense to me only because, and Nick, I do agree where typically you want to be able to maximize a rookie scale contract, right? To go get other weapons and other guys that you can pay. But the Falcons have done an excellent job of getting either cheap weapons in Darnell Mooney, Rondell Moore, or drafting their guys in terms of Bijan, Pitts, and Drake London. So you're not really paying anybody. So in a league where 66 quarterbacks started last year,
Paying Kirk Cousins.
you're paying Kirk Cousins.
Hey,
In a league where 66 quarterbacks, 66 different quarterbacks started last year, I don't think it's that bad of a pick because, yeah, you're giving Kirk Cousins the whole fucking Brinks truck plus a half a Brinks truck. You know what I'm saying? You're getting that man 2 Brinks trucks, basically. If he's coming off an Achilles injury, we understand that he's not, a mobile quarterback. Like his game isn't predicated on running around, but shit, this is the NFL. You got almost 300-pound niggas running 4.5, right? So you have to be mobile enough. You got to be able to move the pocket. You got to have quick feet. We don't know what Kirk Cousins looks like after it. And at this point, we also know that he's injury prone.
Yep.
I could also say the same.
I'm not paying him $100 million.
But he was the best option available because the big. How was he not?
Because Nate, who's the best player on the Falcons defense?
Jesse Bates.
Name one person on their defense.
Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell. They still got
those are mid-tier players. So
Jesse Bates is top.
Yes, he's not. He ain't a playmaker, bro.
Well,
Bates is not a playmaker.
Jesse Bates is a playmaker, but
so is AJ Terrell.
But I'm still with you though. They don't have enough.
They don't.
I'm with you.
And this is a commitment to, I can go 9-6, I can go 10-7, or whatever it may be over the next couple of years while Kirk Cousins is starting, and that'll be cool for my fans.
What type of head coach they got? Offensive, defense?
Offensive.
Head coach? They got Raheem Morris. So when your side of the ball, right, is in
even more so then.
No, hold on. When you are a defensive head coach, you feel you could be the difference. You feel that you can call and scheme up to make up for the lack of whatever you don't have on that side of the ball, which is why you go quarterback. Because here's the thing. The reason why Kirk Cousins is not the wrong selection is this. We knew that the one issue on that whole team was Desmond Ridder, right? In free agency, what other quarterback was there available in free agency?
That wasn't the one issue.
That wasn't the one issue. That wasn't the issue.
That was the main issue.
That
was the main issue.
No, that was a big issue. But their main issue was they didn't have anybody to rush the passer.
Yeah.
Like they were winning games. They put Ridder in a position where he had to come out there and try to win games and have game-winning drives because they didn't have anybody to close games out on defense.
Okay.
What they needed to do was trade back and stack up their cupboard like other great teams or great franchises do. Not they doing what fake smart niggas do. This is like the nigga that try to act like he's smarter than everybody else in the room, but in reality he's dumb.
Great point.
Like that's not
Let me ask you
do,
this,
bro.
Is Kirk Cousins a bum?
No.
All right. So since he's not a bum at QB,
right,
you know that you're going to be in the playoff talk, if not in the playoff.
That's not enough.
Wait, hold on, my boy. Hold on. Okay. We know for a fact Kirk Cousins realistically only has about 2 years of high-level play.
Okay.
Before he drops off, right? Because it's not like he has a rocket arm. There's nothing special. He's the epitome of mediocrity.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I make it to the playoffs.
He the
we
best
ain't gonna
quarterback
win
in that
no games.
division, like you said earlier. Though,
Huh?
right? He the best quarterback in that division, easily. Easily.
I'm not gonna say easily,
But the
he's
difference, you know what?
mediocre.
You know what?
He's mediocre. He's
You know what?
mediocre.
I ain't asked you that. I'm saying he's the best quarterback in that division.
Okay,
right?
fine. I'll give you that.
Okay.
But here's the thing. We know that in the next 2 to 3 drafts, who's the touted QB? Shador next year, but after that, we really don't know, right? So with Kirk Cousins on the roster and starting next year, barring injury, he's coming back from an Achilles. We don't know what he looks like, but if he is 100% healthy, you're not going to draft in the top 10. You're just not.
Right.
And if there's question marks in the future drafts at quarterback, and we know that the way that this contract is structured is really a 2-year deal. It's not 4-year deal. You have a guy that can play right now, and I just said he's injury prone. So we don't even know if he's going to make it past the season. You got a guy that could come in and play. Because last season there's 30 teams, right, in the NFL. There were 66 quarterbacks that started last year. Josh Dobbs went and started for the Arizona Cardinals, and midseason had to be traded to Minnesota and started when he got there.
I cannot draft somebody that I think is going to be replacing my starting quarterback at the 8th pick in the draft.
Bro,
That's
how
not smart.
old is Kirk? How old is Kirk?
By the time, no,
It
how
don't
old is
matter. That's not what I'm
glad you
looking
brought
for.
it up.
Regardless,
Because by the time Michael
26.
Penix is starting, he's going to be 27 years old,
Mhm.
and y'all know
And
he's my
need
favorite
another
quarterback.
contract.
Yeah,
And I got to decide
Yeah.
after he's been sitting on the bench for 3 years if
He's
I'm
not
going
gonna
to
sit for
resign
3.
him.
What you got,
He's not
Spike?
gonna
I mean,
sit for
Q.
Look, me and Nick not in Atlanta, so we don't get the, you know what I mean, every Sunday games and whatnot. So from outsider perspective, you know what I mean, barring my ignorance for just saying, we don't really,
I'm in Atlanta Q and I don't watch Atlanta games.
exactly. So I mean, but at the end of the day, man, this is how I see it. You can't blame Atlanta for doing things that are incoherent when a lot of times Atlanta either lucks into their good players or they just, you know what I'm saying, are kind of flailing for most of the other years. Like Michael Vick, it was kind of a no-brainer that draft, you know what I mean? So I don't think Matt Ryan was touted as being like, oh, he might be a Hall of Fame QB, you know what I mean? So they took a good QB there. And with Michael Penix, this is just another case of the Atlanta Falcons doing things that they don't really need to do. Like, this is very much so, like Spike saying, this is a fake woke pick. This is a DEI pick. I'm not fucking with this. And the reason why it's a fake woke pick is because you're saying that you want to have insurance for your QB that might get hurt by drafting the QB who might get hurt because in college they were too scared that he might get hurt. So you're going to get a depreciated asset and sign that to $200 million basically, and then go get a depreciated asset in a lot of people's eyes. I think Michael Penix will be able to stay healthy personally, like relatively in terms of every other QB and how they stay healthy in their health. But Atlanta swinging for the one QB who has health issues is already in health concerns. I mean, it's already out of pocket for me, and there's no way to justify it because you need to at least go get something on defense, like Spike is saying, or you have to be surefire that you think Kirk Cousins is going to get hurt, or you're going to move off of him in the next 2 years and turn the contract. And that's just bad business. That's bad football, and that's bad team building. There's really no way to defend it, you know?
Yeah, that's where I'm getting at because I'm trying to shoot FIFA some bell because he's trying to defend it, but there's literally no way to justify that pick. The only reason why I somewhat like it is because I'm a Michael Penix fan, and I do think when healthy, he was the second best quarterback in that draft class, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But when you talk about if you were worried about Cousins getting injured, why would you sign him to a $100 million contract and front load it? If anything, you didn't even make it trade friendly to where like it's not even so because he's getting like what 75, 76 up within the first 2 years. So it's not sexy at all. And then on top of that, and then based off of what what will make sense for picking Penix is that Cousins is not going to be ready by the time OTA start, or maybe by the time the first game of the season, based off his recovery, because he had a significant injury. Even though it was last year, he's an older quarterback. It's going to take him a while.
Right.
So you draft a quarterback like you mentioned that's injury or that has a lot of major injuries himself in the past. But the thing is, what I always talk about, I've said this for years, the reason why you want to draft the QB that high is to make do for his contract, because that's the cheapest he's ever going to be in the NFL career if you see him being successful. He's not going to be able to start realistically until his third year. That's by the time he's ready for an extension, which means you haven't. No, because you owe Cousins so much money that why the fuck would you put a $30 to $40 million quarterback on your bench to start a young QB, which means that you have no way to boost your roster to that defense that Lou was talking about, the one that FIFO says that can be patchworked, I guess. I don't know. Like, there's no way you could justify, because you can't maximize on the rookie deal. You can't start him early because you're already paying somebody else in that same position. And then on top of that, by the time he is even, let's say he is great and he does start, you still have to worry about Drake London's contract, Kyle Pitts' contract at that time. So where's that money going to while you're still thinking about signing him past the fifth year option? So it's just like there's no timeline that makes sense to start Penix. Now I hope that the only way that this is justifiable is that in 5 years Atlanta at least goes to a Super Bowl. If they don't do that, then this was the dumbest shit. And this is the reason why they don't hire black GMs and black head coaches.
That was the thing
let's
for me,
talk
Nick.
money.
I wanted to root for them too, because both of them black, but I'm like, damn, bro.
Nick, let's talk money, right? Because you're talking about being able to pay these guys. If you look at it, the first person drafted out of all of the weapons, right, was Drake London.
Kyle Pitts.
Then Kyle Pitts. Then Bijan. Right now, and Drake London was drafted, 3 years ago?
I think Kyle Pitts was first.
I think Kyle Pitts was
okay.
first.
Either way, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, whatever. It was 3 years ago at this point, right? So you still have 2 more years.
You got one. 4th year option.
Fifth year option. So you pick up the 5th year option and then you re-sign them after that, right? 80% of Kirk Cousins' contract is due in the first 2 years, which lines up with paying Kyle Pitts. Now, what are you going to pay Kyle Pitts? Because his production doesn't necessarily garner top tier, and I know he's going to want to be paid as a wide receiver because you line him up out there. That's a whole different conversation, right? However, what I'm saying is you will have money to re-sign Kyle Pitts because, again, 80 to 90% of what you owe Kirk Cousins is going to be paid in the first 2 years out of a four-year contract. So when Kyle Pitts' time to get paid, you should have that salary cap space. The next one, Drake London, you'll have that salary cap space because at that point, Kirk should be off the books. You should have moved on from Kirk, which is now year 2 of Penix. Bijan, like, come on, like the money timeline works. And
no, it doesn't.
How does it not? How does it not?
They have to make a decision on Kyle Pitts this year, after this year.
Exactly, which is the fifth, which is the fifth option.
It's the 4th year option. So he's going into year 4.
You know
he's
what?
going into year 4 and they have to decide if they want to keep him
Either
for year
way,
5.
Exactly.
None of this shit matters right now because we're in the NBA playoffs. Y'all have y'all time in a couple of months when we come back around. I will say though, Q, I'm in 100% agreement with you. It was an awesome news move when he went out and looked out for the brother. Yeah. And picked him and was like, yo, bro, I got you. Come on here. Mm-hmm. And when I saw him talking to Arthur Blanks and he doing sign language, trying to talk to him, I was like, all right, I know he in trouble. Bro, he like, yeah, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna like tell right here.
I
told you about that.
I was like, oh,
he was selling him a used car. He was like,
bro,
if you put the
he was trying.
I know it got 130,000 miles on the bro. Listen, man. All you got to do is keep the oil change. Make sure gas stay in there. You're gonna be good, bro.
No, I'm gonna put you on a down payment for the wheel on the back. And
you good, bro.
He was selling it, bro.
No, you don't need a spare tire.
Who y'all
you don't need a spare tire, bro. Them 4 goods you got on there.
Yeah,
who did y'all have winning the draft though? Who won the draft?
Eagles won the draft.
Oh my god.
Oh Lord.
The Eagles did have an amazing draft. Though.
Okay, who else?
Howie Roseman.
They had the top 2 corners.
All right, I'm just getting answers so we can move on. Who you got?
Who you got, Lou?
Cowboys.
Get the fuck
All
out of here.
right, Nick, who you got, bro?
Nah, I think based off of value, I like the Eagles and the Bears.
All right.
The Eagles had a really good draft. I agree with that.
Pittsburgh also had a good.
They always win.
Pittsburgh really had a good
The
draft.
Eagles been
Pittsburgh
winning
had a
in the
good draft, too.
offseason for 10 years, damn near. How many Super Bowls they got for it? One.
Well,
I'll take
somebody that ain't winning. Them damn Lakers, bro.
Oh,
Wait, did Philly just lose that game?
nah, Philly won.
Oh shit.
Did you know that when you asked?
You welcome,
did not.
Spike.
Did you
I
know that
didn't
when
know.
you
I
asked?
didn't know when I thought it was gonna be an aha moment, Ken.
You welcome,
I was
Spike.
like, I told y'all the Knicks was gonna win. That's
You
what I
welcome,
thought it was
Spike.
gonna be.
Listen to your boy.
Well, it's okay. Yeah, y'all two said it was gonna happen. Y'all need to credit Maxie because he went crazy.
Maxie went
stayed-
innocent.
and I had a feeling something didn't go the way that it was expected because Dick was a little quiet.
Yeah, he
real
and he
quiet.
did slow down.
I'm
He was-
surprised. Yeah, you're right. I
he
should have
was-
known because
He was in the he was in the middle of soliloquy.
Nick ain't
just
got the
stopped.
he ain't got the hat on or nothing, so I should have known.
Nah, I was y'all was talking all damn much. I barely got a word in, but no, they was Maxie and Mitchell Robinson won this game because Mitchell Robinson fouled him for a 4-point play, which is why they even got in it. So yeah, shout out to
Embiid had a
Maxie.
triple double.
Well,
Big
it ain't
Max.
over yet. There's still 5 seconds left, right?
Nah, because
Embiid had a triple-double.
Brunson literally threw the ball away too. Like he was trying to do a 3, but he tried to pass out it at the last minute, went out of bounds.
Hey,
Yeah,
man,
it was-
anything
yeah.
happen, bro.
Yeah.
Anything happen.
That was the game the Knicks needed to win though, because I like now you're going back to Philly.
Yeah,
Oh no, I don't trust
They can win it
Philly.
for
So
They can
let
win.
me
They,
see the-
me
They can win.
neither can. Don't worry about it.
They Philly's stupid enough to throw the ball away and
We
they'll
do.
get it and then foul. They can do some dumb shit. But let's talk about these Lakers, bro.
That's what Ken been dying to get to. He been rushing us through football to shit on LeBron.
He said, "We done with LeBron."
Yeah, shit on Bron.
He rushed us
Say-
through
say we
football.
done.
And I want to
Shit
know
on
what.
Bron.
Like, let me
The
shit
only
on
nigga
LeBron.
on this stage that's gonna shit on Bron is you.
He said we done with the LeBron. That's
Yep.
funny. The
Because you
Lakers
been shitting on Bron.
they somehow managed to avoid getting swept by the Nuggets on Saturday. And they definitely lost yesterday. So we know where they at.
And go another nigga shitting on Bron. FIFA right there for you.
LeBron James was a little mum on his future. There were reports that came out that said in order to try to appease him, they may go ahead and draft Bronny.
The Nazis.
Hmm?
I thought you said the Nazis, but go ahead.
Oh yeah. But what's next for the Lakers? Here's what I want to say before I hand it over because I know y'all gonna go. They got to get Darvin Ham out of here.
Man, here we go.
Yeah, he got to go, bro. He got.
You know what? Before y'all get into it,
What you got, Q?
And I want to hear this.
before y'all get into it, let me just go ahead because I know y'all gonna go to war for LeBron or against LeBron, whoever's feeling which type of way. But bruh, the Lakers season has been one of the weirdest seasons because they've been relatively healthy this year. AD was clearly a top 10, top 7 guy this year. I don't think that's really debatable. On both ends of the floor, dude was doing work. Like LeBron in year 21 was pretty damn good, man. Like still more athletic than 80% of the league. Still was able to get to the rim at will. And D'Angelo Russell had a renaissance after getting traded. You know what I mean? They call him Deadline D'Angelo now. So that's gonna carry into the season with him. And then I felt like they had on and off contributions from Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura this year. So going into this series, I felt like they were formidable enough, even though they were a play-in team. And the Lakers led for like 64% of this series from what I saw on a stat. So it has nothing to do with talent. It ain't got nothing to do with the level of competition is too much for them. This was a heavyweight fight every single game, in my opinion. It was just those little tactical ins and outs, those crevices of the game where Mike Malone was whooping Darvin Ham's ass. And you got to make your free throws. That's just ultimately the story of because Spencer Dinwiddie makes 2 free throws yesterday. Maybe we had to having a whole different conversation. Maybe we're having game 6 in LA. But the Nuggets are a machine. The way that they can manufacture points for Aaron Gordon is just otherworldly. I've never seen so many open dunks from the dunker spot in a playoff game in my life. Jokic is the ultimate catalyst. Jamal Murray is one of the most clutch players in the league, along with Kyrie, along with whoever you want to say. You got them in that conversation, right? I mean, well, some people would have, especially Nick, have something to say about stuff. But it's like Jamal Murray has earned it in the bubble, and he's earning it now. Like, bro, give me the fucking ball when it's 10 seconds left. I don't care how much time I got. If you can give me the ball, we have a chance. And I just feel like the Nuggets have equivalent role players to the Lakers. The Lakers just don't have continuity. The Lakers don't have identity aside from AD, LeBron save us. And that's what ultimately kills them. Those small 1 or 2 cuts. It's to beat Denver, you have to be virtually perfect in execution. And Denver don't got to be perfect in execution because they can manufacture their scenarios and their looks at will because Jokic and Murray's pick and roll is too unstoppable. So this long soliloquy about basketball X's and O's, you can probably listen to that on JJ Redick's podcast. But I have to just give credit to Mike Malone and his staff, bro, because the way that they were running circles around the Lakers, it can't be overstated, and it also cannot be overstated in closing. It can't be overstated how LeBron is just still so great, in my opinion, because they were right there every single game.
100% Q. And I agree with 98% of everything that you're saying. I do think that the Denver Nuggets others are slightly better. But it also lends to another thing that you said. You keep using the word manufacture. The word manufacture, I'm gonna replace it with chemistry. And the chemistry comes from Mike Malone in the system and the 2 best players of Joker and Jamal Murray. We've seen the dynasty that was once the Golden State Warriors. And the reason why they were so dynastic and why they were so dynamic in their games and in their run was because when they needed to go up a level, their chemistry would overwhelm you. And then they would demoralize you with Steph Curry. With this iteration of what Denver has going on is that they can raise their level and then they will demoralize you because of excellent basketball, right? In the most crucial of moments, they're going to execute at a very high level. And if you miss a shot, if you have a turnover, if you take a bad shot, they're going to get a 2 or a 3, right? And their others thoroughly outplayed the Lakers' others consistently. There was a stat that I shared in the group before Game 5 where the length of time that the Lakers were ahead in the series was significant. Also, what LeBron and AD did was they outplayed Joker and Jamal. The difference was the others. The others for Denver at that point in time scored 134 points to the Lakers 90-some points. So we're talking 40-point difference from the others. That is the difference in the game. That does come down to coaching. That comes down to chemistry. That comes down to confidence in moments. There was a couple of years ago, and I had to eat my words, where I said Aaron Gordon is the worst basketball player. I don't understand why they made the move, right? But he was inconsistent at 3. He didn't understand his role on the team. And now you see, after a couple of seasons, the chemistry that Mike Malone and the confidence that he's instilled in him, he is between him and MPJ, depending on the matchup in the series in the game, that's their 3rd most important player on the squad. And you see it game in and game out, and not even just game in, you see it in moments. Both of those guys have spurts where they dominate in what they do. And we can't say the same for the Lakers. For the Lakers, Q, I also agree here. Darvin Ham is a major issue because of rotations, right? And I talked about this and also in the playoffs. D'Lo is a fucking problem in a bad way. D'Lo makes untimely mistakes. He is not confident all the time. When he's unconfident, he goes scoreless in a playoff game. They need D'Lo to be consistent. What do I always say about championship role players? I need you to have one amazing game, maybe 2. You're a role player, but I need you to be consistent. Even if you don't score 15, 18 points, score 10 efficiently. Hit your free throws. Have 1 or fewer turnovers because you're not handling the rock like that. Bron is handling the rock. Bron is the primary playmaker. And then when he comes out the game and it's your time, be efficient with your time. And he's not. And to me, that was the difference. 100%. This was one of the greatest first round series that we've seen last year in the Western Conference
It
Final.
wasn't for the Lakers.
What? The sweep? Did we just watch?
Was it a sweep? It was 5 games.
The gentleman's sweep.
And it was all games were close. It came down to 2 Jamal Murray
This
last second
year?
shot this year.
It was still a
How
great.
was it not
first round
close?
series. It was still. It was still a great series.
Yeah, it was a great series.
He
because
said,
it ended
one of
early.
the greatest that we've
First
ever
round.
You new around here. This FIFA. He'll do this
Man.
sometime.
Yeah,
Spike
ain't,
sometime.
don't nobody ain't nobody gonna look back in history and say this is a great first round series.
Nobody remembers first round series in
I think.
general.
I
just talking
think.
about
I think
for
we
now.
will though. I think we will though. I think we will go back and look at this first round series because it could be benchmark for LeBron's career. Like next year could be LeBron's last year, and then we look at his last couple years on the Lakers. We're like, man, remember that team in 2020? Where people will go back and they'll do an autopsy of LeBron's career for the next 30 years.
Yeah, the LeBron apologist. My thing is this. How many scapegoats are we going to give this Lakers squad to where we have to just come down to say like LeBron is old in the tooth and AD ain't never been it. Like that's really what it came down to. AD.
That's not what this. If there's Nick, in all honesty, if that's what you took away from this series, bro, stick to football.
Oh well,
like,
first of all,
if this is what you took away,
you did me like that in the chat.
100%.
I'm gonna call you out. That's your favorite go-to line.
Because bro, like how
you
can
just
you
shoot
watch
niggas more bail in basketball, FIFA.
No, but Q just said it. All year, including this series, AD was a top producer.
Let me ask you
LeBron was a top producer.
I'm tired of FIFA. Hold on, Lou, because I'm tired of FIFA always using that excuse when he started his debate saying that I fucked up on a basketball tape. So and then he gonna tell me that I need to stick to football. And second of all, we always talk about AD got bodied against Joker. AD was not a factor against Joker let's talk about the close games that y'all want to talk about that made this the greatest first round series of all time. When Joker had to get buckets, what did he do, Shelton? He turned it. He went back to the 90s, early 2000s, and back down AD, who was bitching this whole season, talking about why am I not defensive player of the year? We look at this series to see why.
Jokic had a pretty middle of the road series, though.
Middle of the road is that he averages a triple double. Middle of the road is that he averages 20 plus.
So hold on.
We all said it was going to be a gentleman's sweep.
This man said that Anthony Davis was mediocre at best. So
mediocrity. I didn't say that. What did
you say?
I said he got bodied by Joker.
Okay. Wait, hold on. So body looks like 32 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, 32, 11, and 2, 33, 15, and 3, 25, 23, and 6.
How many games they win?
That's not what I'm. That's not what I'm.
That's body.
How many games?
That's body.
I want to know how many games.
FIFA, you need to listen to what I'm saying.
And I told you why they only won one.
I'm sorry. I'm a football fan, so I go by wins and losses.
Yeah, my thing about that was he left the closing game out because the last game he had 17 and 15, and Joker had 25 and 20 and 9. So in the game that you needed him most,
my thing is when I said body, I mean Joker. He didn't do anything to disrupt Joker at all. Like Joker was efficient whether he was scoring, rebounding, or assists.
I mean, that's
the dominant Joker.
So then what is Anthony Davis? He's supposed to be a great defender because that's what he's touted as. If you look at the stats, it says that all year long, like you said.
I got a question for you, bro. Who in the league can guard Joker?
Anthony Davis.
Apparently not AD.
Nobody.
Can anybody in the league guard him?
So you're telling me? Can you telling me this? We can say. Can you telling me this? We can say the same thing about how the Knicks they can't really guard Embiid, but you see like if you look at these games defensively.
No. The point I'm making is I think trying to compare to you, Joker's just unstoppable.
That's a dumb thing to say. That's a dumb thing to say.
That's not. I'm with Nick.
It's a dumb
excuse.
That's an excuse.
Talking about he's just unstoppable.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Slow down. No, hold on, Spike. all season long, y'all been telling me that Joker is unstoppable.
He
So
is.
I say Joker's unstoppable, and now it's dumb.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Okay, how many unstoppable centers did Michael Jordan play against? How many unstoppable centers have there been in the league prior to? Y'all are telling me the Joker can't be beat. He ain't Thanos. What are y'all talking about, bro?
For me, it's absolutely not dumb, but it's wild that you saying Joker.
What are y'all talking about, though?
I just don't like. All right, let's not devolve here because let's stay on basketball.
No,
when we're talking about this series, when we're talking about this series, every single game was a nail biter up until the last 6 minutes of one game, and twice went down to the wire. And the Lakers won one game convincingly because they kept the foot on the gas. And Joker, while he still got his stats, bruh, basketball is not about points. Basketball is not about these empty numbers. It's not about dunks. It's not about just all these things in a vacuum. To put together a good game plan, you have to execute X's and O's, yes, but you also have to have a rhythm and an impact in how you get your points. That's how you demoralize teams. It's like FIFA talks about it as chemistry, and I think that's a part of it, but it's the impact that the other team feels. It's the heat that you turn up when, oh shit, KD just hit a 3. Now Steph hit a 3. Oh, Draymond just hit a DHO to the corner for Clay. Now it's a 9-point swing in less than 12 seconds. It's the impact. But if in that same play, if you get 9 points off of just middle of the road, we're going back and forth. No, bro, we're talking about can you lock up on the other end, and then can you also impact on the offensive end? The Nuggets can do that. They can lock you up, and then they can go manufacture a bucket anytime that they really want to turn it up. But the Lakers can't do that because they only got 2 guys that know how to.
Hold on. My thing is this, though. When we talk about the Nuggets, when I don't say Joker is unstoppable, Ken, I said the Nuggets. I said no one's beating Denver in a 7-game series. I was like, well, you should pack it up right now because no one's beating Nuggets. Joker, you should be as especially for a team like the Lakers who faced this team twice. They haven't beat this team. They didn't, but before on Saturday, they never beat them in the last 2 years, damn near. So it was 10 straight losses. So to me, it's just at this point, you can't blame the role players. Darwin Ham I'm not saying he's a great coach. I'm not saying he's even a good coach. All I'm saying is that how many times are we going to scapegoat a head coach for the lack of what happens when it comes to LeBron and AD and what they're not able to do outside of that bubble year? Where do we get to the point where one of them has to be
since he won his fucking ring? Y'all need to stop with all that. What have they done since they done this?
Q, you said something when Q was
that
talking
shit
about,
old, bro. What the heck we doing? We done with COVID, bro.
Giannis ain't lost no first round series.
I tell you that much. The thing about it is this. The reason
yes, he has.
Ah, yeah, that's right. That is true.
Yes, he has.
That is true. My bad.
Stick to football. Stick to football.
He ain't playing. He ain't playing right now.
Stick to football.
He ain't playing right now.
Hey, but Q, you made an interesting point earlier too when you talked about Darwin Ham, and you got to put part of the blame on him, Nick, because if you look at these, the biggest stat in all these series was the third quarter point differential. After you come out of halftime, how you perform is indicative of your coach in the adjustments that are made at halftime. Every game at halftime, we saw he couldn't do it, and they came out flat. They were winning. They won the first half of just about every game.
No, it doesn't make sense to say that because in game 3, that came down to LeBron missing a 3-point shot that would have put him up, and that Murray clutch shot that he shot over AD wouldn't have counted or wouldn't have mattered because they still would have been up 1. And if you look at the time of leads they had in this series, they were up almost 70% of every game of the series. So if they were up at this whole time, then it comes to closing and executing, which I put that on LeBron. We never give.
We can't do that.
No, hold on. Listen, Q. Listen.
Y'all put it on there.
Because that's what I'm saying.
Everybody.
If y'all not going to listen,
I want to make sure I understand.
Hold on. Let me say my point. Let me say my point because y'all talking right now. My thing is this: we never give any of the head coaches LeBron has credit when they win. We give all the head coaches all the disrespect and all the blame when they lose. So when so I'm not doing that right here for this, not for this instant, because they got swept last year and they got a gentleman sweep this year, and now we saying it's all on Darvin Ham because now next year they gonna get some bumfuck head coach that ain't gonna do shit, and we gonna blame them and not LeBron. It don't make sense because if my head coach can secure us a 20-point lead and then we lose that game based off of missed shots, that's not on the head coach.
It's the other way around. It's the other way around though. My talent got me a 20-point lead. Now I got to coach the rest of the game. Now I actually have to help my guys get to the finish line.
So LeBron and AD was the reason why they had those close games.
Yes,
Darvin Ham did nothing. You say Darvin Ham did absolutely nothing.
I'm saying.
Hold on, real quick. What do you guys say, Jalen? And then Q, you go.
Yeah. I got a question for Nick. So you're saying that we don't ever give the credit to the good coaches that LeBron has. For the rings that LeBron do have, the 2 from Miami and the 1 from Cleveland, who are his coaches?
Spo.
And Ty Lue.
Are those
And that's your
coaches?
favorite guy.
Those are touted as top 2 coaches in the NBA.
Exactly. Are those good coaches, Nick?
Yes.
And they also got they're just
Spo never got his respect in Miami until LeBron. If you gonna ask me a question, Jalen, you gonna ask me a question. Spo didn't get his respect until LeBron left. Once we saw that, coach, though, but he is a good coach. I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying Spo didn't get his respect till LeBron left. LeBron bump checked him and was trying to get him fired in Miami.
All Jalen asked me is he a good coach or not?
We know the answer to that. Go ahead, Q.
Anyway, when we're talking about NBA playoff basketball, you can't just look at 1 or 2, 3 plays from your superstar when there are coaching decisions and just overall lack of talent that the role players are showing. It's LeBron and AD that get you the 20-point lead. It's LeBron and AD that have you up 27-14 in the first quarter. And you're like, man, we can finally do this. But you can't expect most superstar players to keep this perfect motor into their 30s, let alone almost at 40 years old. And the fact that we hold that standard for LeBron, it just shows how great he is. And AD, you can't expect him to put a team on his back when he's never done that by himself ever. I think that you have to expect him to be a great player. You have to expect him to be a superstar. But in terms of, man, AD carry us to the promised land, he needs help from coaching. He needs help from LeBron. He needs a timely D'Angelo Russell 3. He needs Spencer Dinwiddie to make 2 fucking free throws, and maybe we go up 4 points with 10 seconds left so Jamal Murray can't hit a game winner. It's those little minor on-the-margin details that the Nuggets just have more experience. They have a better system. They have a better coach, and their role players are just far more consistent. You look at who is the Lakers' 3rd best player. It shifts any other month. It's Austin Reeves 1 month. He's the White Mamba. Then he's Rui Hachimura. Then Jackson Hayes shows some promises being a guy off the bench, and then he's terrible the rest of the year. There's no consistency. So when there's no consistency, you can't look at the fact that each game got blown at the end as marks against LeBron and AD. You look at that as holy shit. We almost knocked down the champ 3-4 times, and all we need is our role guys to just get 1 or 2 more threes. Hold on to that ball and don't turn it over. Darvin Ham, call the fucking timeout now, not 40 seconds from now. It's those small margin of details that the Lakers would be tied up right now in this series, maybe 2-2 instead of it being 4-1.
I'm not absolving Darvin Ham. I'm not saying that Darvin Ham is perfect and he has no blame, and I'm blaming all on LeBron and AD. I'm saying for this particular series, though, when you have 2 of the top 15 players in the NBA, you can't just say fire Darvin Ham and put somebody else in, and we could have got some different results. When he gave you when his strategy, regardless if you like his timeout call, which was questionable, but his strategy, regardless of what it was, put him in position to win those games with the talent they had, of course, because they got 2 top 15 players. My thing is just like,
y'all wasn't saying that when they went to the Western Conference Finals last year.
That's what I'm saying. So was that bad coaching?
Was questioning them too.
Yeah, he was being questioned, and I think Shelton was one of them. And I'm glad you brought that up because of what he did this year is why they are looking to get rid of him after this year because of his rotational decisions. Mm-hmm. They looked at how they started, winning the tournament, how they fell apart in the middle, and how they closed the season because he put in the rotation the same unit that went to the Western Conference Finals last year. And they were like, why the hell did you do this earlier? And Darvin Ham kept blaming all of these random injuries to random guys like Gabe Vincent and such as the reason why. And when they did it, but by then it was too late. My question is, and then we'll move on to the next thing, is if you swap Malone and Darvin Ham, do you think you get different results?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
talked about Mike Malone the last time we was live, and I said Mike Malone was the only guy that I ever seen get Boogie Cousins like extrapolate every single ounce of talent that he's ever had when he was first hired with the Sacramento Kings. Mike Malone at that point in time showed me that he was an exceptional coach. It was just a matter of time before he gets another opportunity. We've seen it with Denver. And I just want to touch real quick on when I saw that, right, with Boogie Cousins, you're just seeing that transposed to Joker now. Joker's skill set is unstoppable because you're talking about a 7-foot point guard that understands how to use his size. We've seen guys with no athletic ability dominating the game before. We saw Zach Randolph. We've seen Arvydas Sabonis. We've seen other guys. But now you have a head coach that understands the big man. And to put him in positions, he is unstoppable. And to ask, right? Like I could go back and say the Dikembe Mutombo was Defensive Player of the Year. What he do against Shaq? Shit.
Exactly.
Shit. Because defense isn't always just one-on-one. Is it? Hold on, Nick. I let you talk. I was hella quiet now.
No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't.
Yes, I was.
No, you
Jalen,
wasn't.
was I quiet when Nick was talking?
80 ain't no damn Dikembe Mutombo. Come on, bro.
No, am I saying that he's Mutombo?
He's talking about the defensive prowess of Dikembe Mutombo.
Thank you. Against one of the best, the most dominant player that I've ever seen in my life, Shaq, and he was the Defensive Player of the Year. He didn't have nothing for Shaq. And what I'm saying, I'm not saying that AD is Dikembe. Two different eras. What I'm saying is that AD is one of the best defenders in the game against an unstoppable force in Joker. And there was nothing he could do. We saw it last season. He dominated AD more last season than he did this go round. AD held more of his own, but Joker at this point of his career, with his team, with his coach, with everything going on, he's unfucking stoppable.
Well, we got to jump on another old head.
Go ahead.
By
the way, last thing, a better comparison would be David Robinson when he got his ass beat by Hakeem. If we're talking about defensive, superstar type of guy going up against all the moves in the bag of tricks.
Wait, I'm waiting for Nick. What you got to say, Nick? I'm curious.
I'm just saying you can move.
Is that a good comparison for you? That work for you?
No, I'm just saying it's a scapegoat. This is
I guess it does work. Yeah,
no,
nothing to say to that one.
No,
that's actually a really good one because he destroyed David Robinson.
I'm just saying, like we blame it. We keep blaming head coaches for these Laker players, but we're never gonna blame the Lakers players. But okay,
I agree. People do too much.
I think I'm with Nick. Y'all letting LeBron and AD off the hook. Like y'all trying to blame
Spike. Who you had winning the series?
Which one?
The one we talking about. The Lakers. The one we talking about.
I thought we were talking about the Lakers series.
Yeah.
Oh, the Lakers gonna lose the series.
No, I'm talking. They already lost.
Oh,
who'd you have winning the series?
Oh, who did I have? Denver.
All right, then what? I don't understand what y'all talking about here. Y'all act like y'all surprised by the results. All y'all said this was gonna happen in the sweep. And here's the thing: if they would have blown out, LeBron and AD got blown out. It's like y'all are never satisfied. Let's go to the next one because we just running around.
I just want to say real quick before you move on. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is y'all are shooting a lot of bail to AD and LeBron. Y'all trying to put all the blame on the coach, and it don't work that way. I don't think that LeBron is the type of presence that should be able to help D'Angelo Russell or all these people that y'all said needed to step up. Like he is the person that's supposed to help them step up, not the coach.
D'Angelo Russell is not Kyrie.
All right, bro.
I ain't saying
I don't know what
y'all
be talking about.
We don't want to hear you.
All I'm saying is
let's move on.
You got the top two players ever on your team, and he can't coach a nigga up to hit a three.
All you
wanted was
he's not the fucking coach.
All he wanted was 10 points.
He's not the coach.
Q said all we need is 10 points. Y'all can't tell me Jordan couldn't go out there and get 10 points from Kerr. That's all I'm saying.
Oh Jesus.
Anyway,
Christ.
I'm sorry, King.
All I will say is,
but I don't know.
All I will say is, I remember one time I got jumped on when I said Jamal Murray is the most important person on that team. And he won 2 games for me. And I got that clip. I need to put that clip up because I would tell y'all, Joker don't win these titles without Jamal Murray. And this bro won 2 games for him. I ain't seen Joker do that.
Goodness gracious.
He lit them up, bro. Just like Anthony Davis did. And we talking about, we're in a time now where Steph didn't even make the playoffs.
Right.
LeBron is out of here in 5, and KD is
Cancun
out of
on
here
3.
in less.
Cancun on 3.
He got out of here in 4 games,
Can't
bro.
blame it on the toe this time.
He came with.
I'd love to hear Nick talk about that.
Blame
by
that
the
on
way.
Anthony Edwards. Nigga.
Yeah, they got swept by the T-Wolves on Sunday. What do we do with the Suns? They went all in, man.
Blow it up.
Okay, well, there you go.
That's it. Yeah.
How?
It's
Because
over.
they don't
It's
have
over.
a first-round pick until
It's
2030.
No,
And
they
Bradley Beal has a no
so
trade
they actually
clause.
have two first round. They can trade their first round pick this year and a first round pick in 2031. So those are the only 2 assets that they have.
2031.
Yes.
So they can trade their future assets to get president assets. Is that
Well,
what you said?
Technically, yes. However, they're gonna have to move on from one of the big 3. The reason being, it's $150 million tied up in those 3 guys: Booker, KD, and Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal has a no trade clause in his contract. So wherever you're gonna try to move him, he's gonna have to agree to it.
Nobody wants. Yeah, it's Booker.
It's
Like I don't
KD.
even think you got to go through that whole. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
but I don't even think you got to go through that whole thing. Like you have to, if you're Phoenix, get rid of the best asset that you have, and that's Devin Booker.
So
bro.
is this the same guy that was telling me last week
No,
that
bro.
you come on, man?
What I
No,
say
bro.
last week?
You-
Wait. What I say last week? What you talking about?
Last week, I can't remember who we was talking about, but I was talking about making trades and doing this and doing that. You know, oh, you can't do that. You can't get rid of your best guy and this, that, and the third. And now here you are talking about
well,
getting rid of
maybe,
Devin Booker.
maybe I did say that, but
You did say it about
You
Steph
absolutely
Curry.
said it,
okay,
yeah.
true.
Yeah, about Steph. Thank you.
However, Phoenix ain't got no other option. Because if I'm another team on the other end, when you calling me and you Phoenix and you saying, "Oh man, you want Kevin Durant, man?" Click. Oh man, you want Bradley Beal? Click.
I just got a question. I just got a
that.
question. You trade Booker. What the hell are you gonna do with Bill and KD?
I don't
Thank
know.
you.
You're not a
Hey,
damn
now
damn
the
thing.
basketball people, I ain't kid. Like people clearly told me this in the text. I'm not the basketball dude.
Not
I'm just
KD,
making fair weather.
old
observations.
rickety ass.
And here's the thing.
I'm only
You'd
making fair
rather
weather
trade-
observations, bro.
You'd rather trade somebody that is barely over 25
he's-
but not trade
not
Steph
rather.
Curry that's
He's a
almost
kid and
old.
he's the second
no,
or third best in his position.
no, not rather. I'm not answering your call, FIFO, if you're the GM for the Suns and you try to offer me Kevin Durant or Bradley Beal. Click.
Look,
That's
hey,
what you
look,
do.
look.
Look,
I ain't even
wait, hold
responding.
on, Q. Hold
I'm
on,
not
Q.
even responding
Hold on,
to you,
Q.
bro.
But
But if you're talking about giving me your best player,
no, first of
Booker?
all,
Okay, we can
first of all,
talk.
is this. First of all, is this. Number one, they are hog-tied, right? In terms of the type of moves that they can make because they have limited assets in terms of what they can do because of the moves that they did to get Bradley Beal and KD on the roster, right? That's number one. Number two is this. I can no longer, and I had a conversation with my brother, and I had to come to the realization about KD. He's just a hooper. We can't ask him to lead a squad because we know he's not that. He has shown that every step of his career. I come here to the gym. I'm going to put in the work. I will lead by example, but I'm not a leader, right? So this team, and I said at the beginning of the season, they didn't have a point guard and they're devoid of a leader. Right? We can't put that onus on KD anymore because that's not what KD is. KD, what he is an efficient scorer. He came in and he did his job. Him and Booker scored 84 points in a very efficient manner. When your top two dogs score like that, you shouldn't lose a game. You talked about it in the thread that Bradley Beal should be the one that's eating the most. And this nigga was the biggest fucking offer that there was. He fouled out, had 6 turnovers, and I think he only scored 4 points. When these two guys are cooking the way that they're cooking. Now, if I'm Phoenix and James Jones or the owner of this, that, and the third, and I understand that the owner is splashy. He just bought the Suns last year, made the KD move, all of this type of stuff, right? He wants to win now. He has to understand that when you look at the champions that have won in recent times, for the most part, not 100%, but overwhelming majority, They have been built from within. Do you add a player here, a player there? Of course. But on that roster, who's the only guy that they drafted? Devin Booker.
It's too late for that, though.
It's not.
You already-
It's
nah,
never too
it's
late. You know why
it's
it's
too late for
Spike.
that.
You know why it's
No,
never
It's
too
too
late
late for y'all to tell me
Spike,
that Steph
Spike,
Curry,
Spike,
Draymond
Spike,
Green.
listen,
I
Spike,
built from the draft. It's
Spike.
too late for that, bro.
Spike, you know why it's not too late? Because the thing is that you still have 3 guys that you could go trade for some draft picks. That's why it's not
Who?
too late.
Who?
What do you mean who?
Who are the 3 guys?
I'm trading KD.
Click.
KD got to
What
go.
do you mean,
I'm
Clay?
hanging up on you.
Look.
I'm
Why?
hanging up on you if you call me talking
Why?
about KD and draft.
What you
What you want,
got-
a second
hold
round
on,
pick?
What you got,
Bro.
Q? What you got, Q?
It depends because I don't think anybody's necessarily wrong here. It's just a matter of what do the Suns think is going to be more profitable and what's going to be more advantageous for their future. If you think that you can win a championship, you still have the option to keep Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker. So it's like you look at it like on one hand, you keep them all because you can blame it on injuries.
Don't
You can
work,
blame it
Q.
on.
It don't work.
This
I
is
don't care
this
about
is
the
this
injuries.
is not my personal opinion. I'm just saying that no one should be hasty in this situation. Like, yeah, it's bad right now, and because they got embarrassed. But if we're talking about losing to the new face of the NBA and a top 2 seed in the West, where we were a play-in team, Bradley Beal wasn't healthy, Devin Booker got hurt for a long period of time. If you're an organization, if you're stupid or maybe you're smarter than the rest of us, you can talk yourself into being like, well, we do still have 3 all-star talented guys that didn't really play that much. I will say you probably got to unload KD and you probably got to take some type of meetings on Bradley Beal where he wants to go. Devin Booker, by all means, if you still believe in your if you still believe in the organization enough to win in this decade, you keep Booker. If you feel like you can't win in this decade, and I don't think the Suns should be panicking to think that they can't, because there's so much parity all over the league. There's so many guys that may want to go somewhere. There's so many guys over the next 6 years that will be free agents that might want a different situation. And Devin Booker might be coming into his prime when he's like 28, 29. So not coming into his prime, but coming
Devin
into
Booker's
like
in his
his
prime
like not like really his prime, but like the peak of your maturation in the league is normally around 28, 29 for guys, especially when you really want to compete for championships. So I don't think that you have to be hasty here if you're Phoenix to trade all 3 of them and get a fire sale. If you look at your calculus as being, we can win in the next 10 years, we can win in the next 5 window, you just got to go with what makes more sense. If somebody comes to you and says, hey, we'll give you, whatever, Steph Curry or somebody, yeah, you got to take meetings on everybody. But if we're talking about little marginal moves like, oh, Karl Anthony Towns wants to play with his best friend in Phoenix next year, am I really going to give up Bradley Beal for Karl Anthony Towns? Some people might, some people won't. Just a couple of games ago, people were saying the trade
player though.
I mean, it depends, because some people were saying just a couple of games ago, especially you, FIFO, trade Karl Anthony Towns from Minnesota, and they swept these niggas. So it's very frenetic the way that the pulse of the NBA goes when it comes on guys' trade value. Because Paul George might be a free agent, you might want to sign and trade for there's a whole bunch of options here if you're Phoenix. Which is why you don't have to be looking at this from a weak perspective. You can actually move with some type of strength here to be like, look, worst case scenario, we'll bring back 3 all-star caliber guys.
So Q, look. This is where I disagree with you, right? And the example that I'm going to use is Boston. We saw what Boston looked like a year before without a true point guard, right? It was redundant talent. I talked about it often enough, right? Go back and look at the archives. Once they got Drew Holiday, they looked like a completely different team. Why? Because now neither Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown has to worry about the others. When I get the ball, it's my time to go. Drew got the rest. Drew will set other people up. When I kick it back to Drew, I know he's going to make the right play, whether that's shoot the shot, make the play for somebody else. Drew is the liquid that makes those gears grind. Pause. I know Spike's in the bathroom. When it comes to Phoenix, I said at the beginning of the season, it's not going to work. You're going to have Devin Booker playing point guard, not saying that he can't do it at times. He He could play point guard at times. You know what I'm saying? If you have a point guard on the roster, the point guard gets in foul trouble, can D-Book run you a stretch in that role? Of course. But what you're doing is you're minimizing what he does best, which is go get buckets and fuck everybody else. That's what D-Book does the best. But now when you add Bradley Beal into the mix, who is going to take the backseat to make sure that the rest of the squad gets what they need to get? Also, we look at the head coach in terms of what's his name? Frank Vogel. Right? We always known that Frank Vogel offensively is limited. He's Thibodeau 2.0. We're going to run pick and roll. KD, Shams is already reporting that KD didn't like his role being in the corner guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this I knew was not going to work from the beginning because the three guys don't fit.
My thing is that we got to.
I want to hear from Shelton and because I know you're about to say something crazy, Nick. So
I'm not.
Because you already started. So let Shelton say what he got to say. After I read this, on your point, FIFA, Vogel's son's head coach asked the front office for a playmaker point guard since the beginning of the season, but the Suns ignored Vogel.
So I'm gonna go even a little bit more in depth. James Jones. Wait, hold on. James Jones said that he didn't want to trade for a point guard because he felt that the ball was going to be out of Booker and Bradley Beal's hands even more, which makes absolutely no sense. But go ahead.
Yeah, you have to move on from KD if you can. You can't move Booker. Like I said, Booker is your cornerstone. He's a young guy. You build around him, and that's just what you do. And there are teams are gonna you go get value for KD.
Yes, you are.
Let Shelton talk.
But you know what's crazy about that KD thing? You remember when they traded for KD? Everybody was tripping because Minnesota got so much more for Rudy, and look how much value Rudy has brought to this Minnesota team.
Saying. You even quoting it like. Ain't no team picking up the phone and being like, man, I'm gonna break the bank to get KD or even Bradley Beal. I don't even know what y'all are talking about when y'all say those are the two dudes that gotta move. The only person that they gonna get stuff for is the person that they need, and that's Booker.
Were you done? Hold on. Were you done?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you mean to tell me that the Lakers couldn't use
KD
right now?
Go.
I ain't saying they couldn't use him. I'm saying they're not going to give the Suns what they want for him. Like nobody in the league is going to give people what they want for KD or what they expect from Bradley.
So what would be the expectation?
We got to hear from Nick because he just saying the same shit he said that don't make sense.
This is another case of black GMs not giving up. They may not get hired again because James Jones put together a horrible team after putting together a really good roster that went to the finals a few years ago. I do agree with Lou that the most valuable asset you do have is Devin Booker. So if you're even thinking about trading Devin Booker, you might as well just blow up the whole team because I think KD stepped on right now. Like I don't think you could probably still get some players, maybe some picks, but you need a whole roster change because the main thing about that whole trade with Bradley Beal and to get KD is that you gutted the whole roster of your bench, and you have no big men in the Western Conference that arguably three of the best teams in the West. When you talk about OKC, Denver, and Minnesota, they all have legit big men. So it's like you can't even do that in scoring these days. You only have one basketball, so you can't have you got Bradley Beal, KD, and you just double down on a redundant. But I'll say all that to say, Ken, this is where my hot take is: Booker should be on the block. It's been 9 years. It's been 9 seasons. It's been 9 seasons. It's been 9 seasons. The most success we have of this Sun team with Devin Booker is when Chris Paul came. Outside of that, Devin Booker hasn't really done shit for this franchise outside of scoring a bunch of points and being FIFO's favorite light skin to root for. So I say
I think all of them at this point are second options. Or I would think in Bradley Beal's case, third option, probably by this point of his career. But I've always thought Devin Booker was a second option, even if you want to take like Jamal Murray being a second option, you could still be one of the more impactful players, right? So that's not a shot. But Phoenix's team never made sense schematically, and it never made sense health-wise either since Bradley Beal is always in and out of lineups. Devin Booker's had little tic tac injuries here and there, weeks out, months out from time to time, or a month out more so, not months, but like a month here and there. And you already know Kevin Durant has been hurt every single year since he's had his Achilles injury. So I've always felt that if you're going to trade Devin Booker to Knicks Point, the only reason you would do that is because you feel like there's no window for you to win in the next 3 years.
Are you being optimistic right now? And we appreciate that for the program, but like I don't in the next 5 to 8 years, like
it's not even to me, bro. It's not even optimism. It's just how quickly the landscape of the landscape will shift and how it has shifted over the last 3 years. Like if you're San Antonio, yeah, you probably want to call about Bradley Beal, you want to call about KD, you want to call about Devin Booker. See if you compare Wemby and Book. Like so many things can shift for people. Like Luka might want out of Dallas in 3 years. Like you know what I mean? Like Zion might be on the trade block this summer. Now, what happens if they're like, hey, we'll give you Zion and somebody else straight up for whoever, right? For Bradley Beal. Just what you know what I mean? Like you take it. It depends on what Booker wants to do. If he has carte blanche in the building, like it can move at drop of a hat, man. So plus players' values too. Players' values oscillate too. Rudy Gobert a couple summers ago was the worst player in the world. Shit, just before this season was he's terrible. They're not going anywhere. But Anthony Edwards elevated them. So
I just don't believe. I just don't believe. I think we've seen the best and worst of James Jones as a GM because I think they just missed their window. They were up 2-0 against the Bucks. That was the best they're gonna get. Sometimes that's just how it happens. Because ever since before then and post Chris Paul, this team has been irrelevant. Like the only reason why we had hopes of them coming together because the name sounds sexy and if this was 2K, then yeah, we could probably do something. But in the real NBA, you can't win without a bench. You can't win without length in the West, and that's just clear. That was just clear as day from day one.
Dang, bro, y'all don't have anything to say about KD? Damn, y'all was destroying LeBron and AD, and come on, KD got swept, and y'all just like
KD been like FIFA said. KD is like we know he's a mercenary. He's there just to be a hired gun.
The reason why we don't have those expectations, Ken, is because we know that KD's never even arguably been the best player in the NBA. That's why no one's looking at this like a travesty.
I disagree with that. There was a point in time where
it was never a point in time where it was even arguable. It was always LeBron James, Steph Curry, Giannis.
When he was winning MVP, he was arguably the best player.
No, we knew LeBron was still the better player.
He wasn't.
It was never arguable. It was never arguable.
Game one of that NBA Finals, OKC against the Heat.
He wasn't. He wasn't. LeBron. It was never, ever,
he
bro.
Was cooking. He was cooking.
He was cooking, LeBron, but that was it.
Steph. Even James Harden had better years. So let's not act like KD was, but that's not to disrespect him as like one of the best players ever. It's just, bro, you're not at a certain lunch table. You know what I mean? You ain't at a certain. You can't sit with certain guys.
Wait, and that's KD not sitting at the table with LeBron and Steph?
I don't think so. I don't think he's not. I think that KD's career will ultimately be looked at as
KD,
one of the most talented. But ultimately, he's Tracy McGrady, who had an option to dip out on Houston.
Don't do that. Don't do that, bro.
It's real shit though. It's real shit though. It's real shit though. He's a 6'11" Tracy McGrady who had an opportunity to join Kobe and Shaq, and that's what it is.
No, first of all, why do we do this to KD? I'm not saying
because Steph Curry just won a ring 2 years ago, and that's why.
And Steph Curry and them was the one that begged him to come over there because they couldn't handle. Because they couldn't.
Let's talk about that ring 2 years ago against this unbeatable Boston team that y'all niggas keep talking about for the last 2 years.
I've been gave up on Boston that championship was the reason why I gave up on Boston because they was up 2-1 and they couldn't close out the deal.
You feel me? But KD out here doing Make-A-Wish teams and shit. Yo, where do you want me to go next, kids? Like it's just other shit.
Because y'all laughing up, but KD's more likely to bounce around and get another ring, and then we looking at him in a whole new light. It's only
we're not.
KD not
No.
getting, KD
If
not
he
getting.
if he gets another ring, we definitely look.
No,
KD
they're
don't
not.
want that.
No, they're not.
KD has proven he does not want to be looked at as the guy. He just wants to be heralded as the guy, but he doesn't want to be looked at like that. In the sense of we look to you to carry a team, lead a team. It's never been that.
He doesn't.
So-
He doesn't need to be that because he always said. I agree
Oh,
with you.
well, see, here's the thing: you can't tell somebody that they don't need to be that, and then also say that they're a great player because great players are expected to win.
Yeah.
So I think KD is a great player. I just feel like it's a flaw in his game and that's more so mental. And who the fuck am I, right? So KD, you sitting on $100+ million and shit. You don't give a fuck about who I am. But at the end of the day, as a fan, if I was a fan of yours, I would be disappointed that like I just feel like you're very nonchalant about one of the
best player.
basketball.
But I'm saying the best player doesn't always have to be the vocal leader of the team. Look at Golden State. Steph Curry is their best player, but Draymond Green is the engine that pushes that team forward. Steph ain't yelling at nobody. It was Draymond coming. It was that meme of Draymond yelling at KD that made KD leave.
Yeah, but we expect Steph to be great. No one is expecting greatness from KD really anymore. Like we're surprised by it and we're happy for it. But it's like, oh shit, KD's great
When
this
did
year.
that change, Q? Because I feel where you're coming from, but I don't necessarily agree.
Brooklyn. It was Brooklyn.
I think it
Brooklyn.
changed. I think it changed after the year where the toe was on the line.
Yeah, that was
feel
it. That was
I
the
feel
year.
like right after that year was when we started looking at KD and Kyrie like, oh, well, I think they might be kind of done winning here. And if they do win, then all right, glory, hallelujah. But it's like, nah, bro, we're not looking at this the same. Steph, we're looking at Steph because with one more ring, people got arguments to push Steph into a top 5. That's why people want Steph to make the playoffs. Like, yo, do something. You can get 5 rings here and be up there with Kobe and be up there as like, I stayed in one place the entire time.
Yeah, they
bouncing around like, you know what I mean? He on tour. Like, it's just, you know.
KD is the Drake of basketball. Nigga wants to be accepted, but really can't be accepted.
That's true. And nothing was the same. Nothing was the same since Edwards dropped control. You know what I mean?
Let's move on. They trying to bring Drake into the conversation.
His views from Golden State was the best ever.
You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't want to hear Nick talk hoops no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking with you, dude.
The view so far is looking good in Milwaukee, but no Giannis, no Lillard. It's inevitable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I think. I think Giannis quit on the team.
He is.
I think Lillard. I think Lillard quit on the team as well. I think they both just chilling. It was like, let's get this over with.
I think he faked the injury.
I think Lillard was mentally checked out for damn near the whole season.
Yeah, that personal stuff, I think more than anything weighs on him a little bit heavier than he lets on. People forget that these are regular people. Like life happens, and divorce is not an easy thing for anybody. I mean, you got real life going on. Your kids are somewhere else, and it's a lot of moving
miss
parts.
Portland like that.
Halfway around the country.
You know what?
Right.
What you say, Ken? You know he was.
I ain't know he's gonna miss Portland like that.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm talking about Giannis quit on the team, bro. Why are we not looking at Giannis differently? Forcing out a winning coach in favor of his damn brother.
That's what we should have said. Yeah, that's what we should have been on.
It's because he brought a ring to Milwaukee. No one thought he could. I think he still gets to shine from that.
From that, yeah.
He still gets shine. And then Shelton, to your point, no one gives a fuck about these niggas and what they dealing with when they make $100 million. I wish somebody would pay me $100 million to live in Milwaukee and play basketball. You ain't hear the goddamn peep out of me.
It's just the kids part. Even though he got Glow Lillard, he still. I'm sure he missing new kids, man.
Yeah. He left.
It's a lot to deal with, man. But at the same time, these super teams are just proven not to be super anymore. Because you look at both these situations, and we looked at the hoopla coming. Oh, Dame is coming. There's going to be a changing of the guard, and this and that. But, you know, it's really not all it's cracked up to be. Chemistry is huge. And with these teams, we're not seeing it. But, you know, this was a little different because they're both out. But even still, when you brought in Doc, you kind of threw things off with that, and it's not been the same since.
Blame Doc. Ken, I'm going to say this, and I don't know if it's controversial or not, but we don't hold
foreign-born players to the same standards that we hold American-born.
Please.
When you talk about why we don't blame him, it's because he's African. That's it. Like it ain't got nothing else to do with anything other than that.
Right,
we don't
wing
hold
loose.
players that are not American-born to the same standards. Because if this was LeBron, people would be putting him on a cruise like a cross.
Yeah, but
if this was anybody
we
else,
just
Such
talked
a
about
nationalist,
KD.
bro.
We just talked about KD not
Hey,
being held to
wipe
the
that
same
black
standard.
face off your.
you just said KD wasn't held to the same standard once his foot was on the line.
Well, I said, when did it change?
But you know it changed.
I said that.
The kid question is, okay, well, why ain't it changed for Giannis?
What-
why we ain't holding him to the same
My
standard?
thing, for me, the reason why I asked why it changed, because I never changed it. He's always been one.
That's fair, but it's changed, right?
Eh,
You
I-
agree that it's changed.
To a degree, yes, but I
So
asked
why we
when.
don't hold Giannis to that same standard?
Cause I mean, all right. First of all,
Yeah, wait, hold on.
Because he ain't American and we don't care.
First of all,
That's what it is.
First
He's
of
not
all,
American and we
right
don't
wing
care.
Lou. First of all, Giannis is still in his physical prime. KD is no longer in his physical prime. So there is a point of diminishing returns. Like LeBron is no longer in his physical prime. To have the standard, the expectation on LeBron to me is still crazy.
Even in LeBron's prime, he had a different standard than Giannis
But
has right now.
LeBron's expectation is different than every other basketball player to ever lace him up in the NBA.
Why?
Because he
he's
came in.
considered one of the greatest of all time.
And Giannis is not.
No,
no. Look.
Giannis was a project.
Hey, look, man.
Giannis is a
superstar.
project.
Listen. When LeBron came in,
as a project.
when LeBron came in, they were talking about this is the greatest basketball player or the greatest high school player that we ever seen.
Yeah.
And he lived up to all of the expectations,
Fair.
right? What I'm saying is when Giannis came into the league, if we knew what Giannis is now, he would have been number one. He wasn't. He was barely a lottery pick.
Look.
Giannis was a project for the first 6-7 years of the league.
But he's not no more though.
I understand, but he's still in his physical prime, which is why there's still an expectation on his game because you can still physically perform at the highest level.
Ken just asked us why he quit on his team.
I don't fucking, you know what, Ken? I think he got a little power hungry after the championship, throwing his weight around saying, hey, you know what? Even though this coach is a damn good coach and we have the best record, get him out of here. He thought he is the guy. And everybody's not Bron. Everybody can't make up for the lack of coaching or the lack of teammates or this, that, and the third, or I want this guy, I want that guy, and make it work. Everybody can't do that. We seen KD can't do that. Giannis can't do that.
Americans can do that.
Look. No, but on a serious note, though, the reason why an American-born player might get more scrutiny in people's minds, or I don't think that's necessarily a falsehood, but I think it lacks context for people who are not playing, who actually think that. I have to correct the record here, that it's media and it's investment in branding, because where the sport is being played at, which is America, the people who are watching the games, they're being marketed to the players that they can relate to and the markets of the players where they're in. Jokic and Giannis are not getting it, because they're Euros or either African players, quote unquote. Joel Embiid is still like one of the most high-selling jerseys in the league, so that shows you that market still has some sway. But Jokic and Giannis are in Milwaukee and Denver, Colorado. The NBA really doesn't have a big incentive in making those places huge destinations to go see talent when you got the Knicks being good always. Even if they're not, they're always going to make money. Lakers. So it may look like they're getting more scrutiny, but it's also because the marketing of how they want to project a player's image. A lot of Americans can't relate to a big burly dude from Slovakia and shit riding horses, or they can't relate to the, Greek African dude, who just wants to be with his brothers all day. The guys like Anthony Edwards, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, they're going to get bigger scrutiny from media because there's a larger market invested in everything from their shoes to their clothes to their game to their highlights to everything, man. So for everyone who's like really be hating on people from outside the country to come play basketball, let's not get on some make basketball great shit again. But let's have that context too. Even though it is funny, I ain't gonna lie.
That's right wing Lou with his immigrant
Yeah,
rant
you
of
know
the
what I'm
week.
saying?
But I think it is Giannis feeling himself too much, and he's also on the end of his contract, so he's just basically putting the feet to the GMs and the owner of the Milwaukee, saying like, you better build a better roster around me because I could dip and y'all ain't gonna have shit like me ever again. Because it took all the way from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to him to win another title. So I think he definitely has the leverage, but it's also injuries too. Injuries played a big part as far as like the downfall of this whole Bucks team.
And the reason why Embiid worked is because Embiid had personality. He kind of went, sort of viral. Viral is the word I have here. But remember when he was shooting a shot at Rihanna and stuff like that? Yeah. So
because he embraced American culture. Yeah, he embraced American.
And like it's Philly, man, and it's Philly also one of the biggest media markets. So like a lot like Luka Doncic, like Dirk and Luka, they were in Dallas. Dirk was there for 20-some years. Luka's there right now. They're still trying to force Luka down people's throats, pause. But like when it comes to Europe, bro, I was just over in Europe like less than a month ago. It won't nothing but Luka jerseys. So it shows you that when they want to like market you to a certain populace, they will pump those dollars there, and there's more of an incentive for people to relate and purchase the merchandise and the tickets of American-born players. So of course, by proxy, you're going to get more scrutiny online because they're more invested in those guys. No one's online being like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that Djokovic or Nikola Jovic on Miami Heat doesn't get more playing time." There's it's him, his family, and his uncles who know about who he is versus Jimmy Butler, who's going to be marketed in Miami and have billboards and, oh, okay, he's a superstar. And it's also Miami, Florida. So it's a lot of factors here and there, but it is funny when people are like, get the Euros out of the NBA. I do think that's hilarious, but that's ultimately the reason why, man. There's more money in the American-born guys right now.
And you're right too, Q, because based off what you just said too, Steph Curry, Jason Tatum, and LeBron James are the top 3 selling jerseys in the NBA.
Feel me?
And they're all American players.
Man, Boston's spending a lot of money for them Tatum jerseys.
That's what it is, man.
Hey, do we have a disrespect this week?
I don't.
Okay, cool. I'm just what you got? What you about to say?
I was gonna say we got to give a shout out to Minnesota though, because I know we glossed over this the series, we focused more on the Suns, but Ant Edwards is that dude. He's right now the only young person to really root for, because again, one of FIFA's many bad takes is Zion was supposed to be the one that nigga can't even get into the day of playoffs. But yeah, shout out to Ant Edwards and Minnesota.
They got to the playoffs. He just didn't go.
Either way, that's a bust.
And it's not a bad take because when he's on the court, he's a historic.
Y'all not about to start this shit again. So we got best thing in sports coming up and Spike's power rankings of the top 5 immigrants that need to get out of America. Go back to where the hell go back to the hell they came from.
Spike playing Border Patrol right now.
But while we cue that up, I got a real quick question. Is Karl Anthony Towns the best offensive player on Minnesota?
No.
Absolutely not. No.
It's Ant-Man.
The best offensive player?
I can't believe he had to reiterate.
I think he is.
No, not the best offensive player.
Why would you say
he's the most? He probably has the most skill on the team. And we're talking about like relative to size and dribbling and all that stuff. He's probably the most skilled, varied ways to score. But we're talking about best offensive player, a nigga who does a bunch of different moves pretty good versus one dude who got 4 moves. He does great. I'll take the 4 moves every time.
What do you think separates Ant from Cat in terms of being the best offensive player? I know the one thing I think
it's pace and agility. Like his pacing is way more methodical with Anthony Edwards. Cat is just very stretched to the nail, stretched to the 3, top of the key, mid post. Whereas Ant Edwards is operating on on
Everywhere.
like,
It don't
you know what I
matter.
mean? Like,
I
come
get
on
it.
now.
You know, for me, what the difference is between the two, because I do agree that Cat is more skilled, because you're talking about damn near a 7-footer that could do it all, right? Versus Ant-Man that's 6'4", 6'5" at best with shoes on. You know, the difference is mentality. We saw it against
I know mentality, but so the reason why I asked is because Anthony Edwards said Cat was the best offensive player.
He
in the
was
game.
saying that
You gotta do that.
Well, hold on, let's give him more context, Ken. Let's give him more
That's why
context.
I'm asking.
He said that he is the biggest mismatch, that Phoenix ain't have him. So
I could have swore he said offensive player.
probably
He
did
said
say
that
that.
too.
He
He
did
said
say
both
that.
things. He said both things. That's why I said let's give it more context. He said against Phoenix, I told him you gotta stop fouling because there's nobody that can guard you.
Let me ask you a question. What additional context do we need to Anthony Davis saying, I told
Edwards.
Cat, Anthony Edwards saying, I told Cat he is the best offensive player on the team?
He was talking about against.
He wasn't talking about, he said, I don't think he was saying against, he was highlighting.
Finish what you was going to say.
He was talking against Phoenix, and he said, stop fouling because there's no matchup for you. He's our best offensive player
On the team.
Bro,
He said,
in that matchup.
He been facetious.
In that matchup. In that matchup against Phoenix, they didn't have nobody to guard
I
him.
don't think he was referring to the matchup, bro.
Yeah, Cat need that.
Exactly. So that's why
Jimmy
I said
Butler said the same thing. You know that, right? When Jimmy Butler
also hit him in his jaw.
Yeah, once he realized what FIFA said, once he realized he didn't have
saw.
mentality, that's when he went at him and started saying, "Well, forget all this." But when he got there, Jeff Teague said it. He was saying how
I think that's
that man's show.
I
That
think
man
that's-
is the man.
That's credit to Anthony Edwards to know the position that he needs to play to make Cat better.
Yeah,
no, 100%. And that's why there's guys like Kobe, like MJ.
Okay, stop. I want to read this. I got to read the quote. Like the first 3 games, the motherfucker just kept fouling. He's the best offensive player on the team. If he's not in foul trouble, it's a problem for any team that has to guard us. I knew what I heard, bro.
I think he just hyping his man. Like that's just
He got to do that.
I mean,
the best offensive player on that team is Anthony Edwards. He's the difference. And the difference is the mentality. We saw him go at KD talking hella shit, and he backed it up. And Cat is not built that way. Cat needs to be coddled. To me, a great offensive player doesn't need to be coddled. Cat needs to be coddled.
Yeah, I understand all that. I was just asking. That's why I wanted to ask y'all about this, because when he said it and then he gave reasons why, so he broke it down into some of the reasons why. That's why I wanted to bring it to y'all. And I was, glad to hear Q was on here just to hear what you guys thought about what he said. I thought it was an interesting thing for him to say, because at first I thought, like, along the lines of what Shelton always says, like leadership, hyping his man up, giving him confidence and stuff like that. And then he kind of went into some of the reasons why he said that. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Let me see what the guys thought.
I think it's wildly incorrect, Ken, and I think it speaks to the brilliance of Anthony Edwards and why he's going to be the face of the league. He knows what he needs to do as the leader of a team to make his guys better. And at that point in time, I need to tell Anthony Edwards, hey, you're the best guy on the team. Hey, you don't need to foul. Hey, let's have this joking commentary in front of the media so you can feel confident going into the next game. That speaks to the brilliance of Anthony Edwards. That's all I think that speaks to.
100.
Yeah.
Everybody don't go about it the same way. Jimmy Butler wanted to punch him in his face and call him all sorts of type of names.
And that's why Jimmy Butler not the face of the league, though.
No, 100%. Yeah. But Kobe was at one point in time, and Kobe was in that MJ vein where I'm going to cuss you out and punch you and do a whole bunch of shit. So there's multiple ways.
I think Anthony Edwards has a different personality.
No, 100%. Yeah. You can't have tough love on Cat.
But the point I was making about it was,
and Anthony Edwards has realized that. And that's why they're in the position they in.
But the point I was making about it was Jimmy Butler did recognize that he was the best offensive player on that team. And he was that. He just didn't have the mentality, like you said. And maybe Ant realized the same thing. If he had this, he would be the best player on that team.
Cat would be. Don't you remember when Cat was like 2-3 years in the league? That they always randomly or anonymously polled GMs, and it said if you started a franchise, who would be the player that you would start with? Everybody voted Cat.
Yeah,
but that's early Cat. Like and then that's why my theory is 3 to 5. We saw in the midst of all of this time, mentally he can't be your number one guy. You're not going to win nothing
ever, never.
All right, power rankings. We got those this week.
Absolutely, man.
Right wing
So
Lou.
yeah, got a good list for y'all this week, man. We're
The
going
greatest
into the
Republican
playoffs.
presidents.
These are the most disappointing playoff performers
Mm.
of all time.
Oh,
This
All
era.
time?
Oh wow.
This era. I'll say this era. I won't even
Okay.
say of all time. I will put that on.
All
Ba-
right.
ba-
These are the
basketball
most
from a
disappointing.
non-basketball guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I did it in basketball since FIFO said I don't know basketball at all. It just came out to me in text. Number 5, James Harden. Even with them being up 2-2, I still think that the Clippers have a much better team than they're facing right now.
it's
And
definitely better without Kawhi.
yeah, they are better
That's wrong
without
already.
Kawhi. And he had a good game.
You said they up 2-2.
No, they tied 2-2. He had a good game the last game, but still, overall playoff performance from James Harden has never been up to par. Number 4, sweep. He in Cancun with LeBron. He in Cancun with Steph right now.
Mm-hmm.
He needed Steph to carry him to 2 championships. Doesn't matter what you say, FIFO. He still needed Steph to carry him.
I agree with that.
Okay.
That's Nick that don't agree
Nick,
with that.
my bad. You're right. Nick, for you, Steph carried him to 2 championships. I don't care about the finals.
Carry is a
Carried.
It's egregious.
Carried. Oregon Trail
He had to
carried.
get on-
Hop in the
he had to
back.
get on Steph's
Hop in the
bus.
back of the wagon.
If he wasn't
and
on
we gotta
Steph's
make
bus,
it
he
across
wouldn't be there.
country, bro.
Can I ask you
Pause
something? Can I ask you something, Lou?
No, you can't ask me nothing until this is over. Number 3.
That's real.
Number 3. Joel Embiid. I know
That's
he's hurt this
valid.
season, man,
That's
but
valid.
it still hasn't came to fruition as it needs to. Me and Ken were looking at the game before we started recording today. He just looked old, man, and his time may have passed. So that's number 3 for me. Number 2, Nick, where you at, Nick? Still can't ask me nothing. Don't ask me anything.
That's kind of a
One of the best scorers
Nick
of all
rolling in this
time.
carpet right now.
One of the best scorers of all time, and I can't remember not one memorable playoff moment.
Whoa.
And that's an atrocity.
That's
Like,
that's because you don't watch basketball. That's what you say.
now I don't watch
I'm
basketball.
fucking weak.
First it was we don't watch basketball. Now I don't watch basketball. So,
Yeah.
and number 1, man, this goes all the way back to the timeout in Michigan, bro.
Oh,
I've seen this man shit down
That's
his
the worst
legs
list
so
ever.
many playoff
That's
series.
so mean.
Hey, man, it is what it is. I seen him do it against the Lakers. I seen him do it at Michigan. It's Chris Webber.
How you not
Man,
have Ben
hey.
Simmons on this list?
He don't even. I don't even count him as an
That's
NBA
not even
player.
worth
I
it.
didn't even-
man.
Yeah, I didn't even like Ben Simmons. Like didn't even register to me because I don't even consider him an NBA.
Hey,
player.
look, man. The Nuggets had a good 2009 series against the Lakers, man. That was a great.
You mean
that's
Kings?
Who won?
You can
No,
have,
no. Both
Who
of them
won?
actually. But
Who
do you
won,
remember?
Q?
Oh, you talking about Carmelo? I thought you
talking
said
about-
C-Web.
yeah,
I thought you
with
said
him,
C-Web. My
yeah,
bad. My
Who
bad.
won?
I mean,
So
the
that's my
refs.
top 5.
I mean, the
That's my
refs
top
won,
5.
Spike. Clearly, the refs won. Even Kobe said that they rigged that series with Sacramento. But
Yeah.
I get it though.
God bless the dead. Shout out to Kobe. Shout out to that list. Appreciate you, Jalen, for putting it together. What was your question, Nick?
I was gonna say, do you think Steph wins those 2 titles without KD?
Yes. Next. Ken, what we got?
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Well, we were just talking about we got to go to the best thing in sports, and then dead end decision. We got that. Cool. Last 2 things, and then we'll read a couple of super chats and we get out of here. Best thing in sports this week. We're just talking about them, bro. Yeah, we got you. We got you. I can feel space. No, we good. Boom.
There y'all go.
Hey man,
I
what was
agree
this
with that
game
one.
1?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, talk that
Game
shit.
1.
Talk that shit, my boy.
This is
To
the
your
Talk
NBA.
that
to your
shit.
favorite
we
player.
like to see.
Yeah,
It's my favorite
and
player in the
KD
league.
walking down the court smiling like that, making it worse.
It's my favorite player. in the
Because
league,
KD
bro.
can't do anything.
Right.
He already know. Like
Yeah.
it's like young KD probably would have came back at him. Rickety ass
You know who
KD.
KD needed?
Can't do nothing.
He needed Pat Bev on his
He
side.
said, "Oh, that's
Somebody
nigga.
to hit
Yeah.
Anthony.
Somebody to tell me. And KD wanted to go put a hat on right there because his hair looked like that. He's like, bro, go
God,
put a hat on.
y'all-
See, then he
y'all
talking
don't-
shit to Bradley Beal. Yeah, man.
all y'all
You
can
see,
get.
yeah. You know,
And Bradley is now Bradley. Bradley. You said Bradley Bill, not Devin Booker.
Oh, he was on Booker bad
Oh,
too.
Booker was scared.
He
Booker
was
was
on
ready.
Book
To,
bad too.
Booker was ready to go home.
Yeah,
Booker-
He was
yeah,
ready to
well,
go
nothing to
home.
do
Like,
with
bro,
that.
I ain't signed up for this, bro. I'm ready to go home. I ain't no dude was gonna do me like this out here.
no, man, it's a team full of second options.
And then
But let's
drop.
not take away from Anthony Edwards and his shine, though, Q.
Yeah.
This
No,
is
for sure, for
This is
sure.
a wonderful moment. This is the energy that we've been asking for in the
Rumble, young
NBA.
man, rumble.
This is the anti all y'all niggas is friends and swapping jerseys and shaking hands and all this. I love this. And even him saying KD is my favorite player.
Mhm.
This is my favorite player. And I'm going to talk shit to him and let him know I'm here. I came to do this. This is fantastic. Bro.
Yeah,
That-
drop,
th-
drop
this-
40 on them. And they
This is
close
the
that
basketball I
game.
grew up on. This is
it,
80s,
yeah.
90s
This
energy.
is Reggie Miller. This is Michael
100%.
Jordan.
100%.
Exactly.
I have
This
the
is that.
utmost respect, but inside of this
Right.
line on this court, nigga,
I do not
I'm gonna
with you.
fuck you up.
Exactly. This was refreshing as hell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nah, and Edwards said, "Fuck the big three. It's just big me, nigga."
Yep.
Fuck it.
100%.
We
And
don't
he
want
said,
to hear you say nigga no more.
No more, bro. We don't want to hear you say Booker no more,
bro.
Booker. We don't want to hear you say nigga no more, bro.
Yo.
Like,
Hey, let me ask everybody today: has Ant Edwards usurped the number one spot as the best shooting guard in the NBA?
Yeah.
FIFA, you've been saying some words today, boy. I gotta look
Usurped.
usurped up.
He read a book before he came in here. Boy.
Usurped that thing.
He read a book before he came in here.
Is Ant Edwards the number one shooting
Yes.
guard in the league?
Absolutely. He
I
might
agree.
be my favorite player.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
He might be my favorite
Number
player
one.
in the league.
Yeah.
Bro.
Number one.
He might be my favorite athlete, actually.
All right, Lou, come on, bro. Chill out.
Who would you put? See,
he might
you
be.
gotta act like I'm going too far, but who would you put above him?
His
Nigga, you don't got one athlete.
Lou over here,
above
Lou
him.
about to say he might be my favorite black man right now.
He right there with Barack. He right there with him.
Look, hey, Lamar Jackson got something to say
That's a
in
good
terms of
one.
athlete.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Pat Mahomes got something to say.
Nah.
Ja be back next year.
You can't do
Ja,
it.
Ja is that
Listen,
nigga.
Ja, who Ja?
Yeah, Ja
Right.
be back next year.
Raja Wick.
Hey,
Ja
The
coming
first one,
back.
the first
Ja
one was a
Wick.
good one. Lamar Jackson.
All right.
Lamar Jackson and him.
Hey, Lou, what's wrong with Pat? What's up with Play Pat?
Who? Let's get
What's
to
wrong?
a dead end decision.
No.
See what we got to do now.
So, which of these three players would y'all take to
With
win more
more
championships in their career?
Luka.
In their career.
Yeah,
Luka.
young star.
And
I'm going with Ant.
like
Right, Luka.
the organization or anything like that. Just who's gonna win more championships?
I think Ant.
All in the same conference. So they
That's
all
a
gonna
good
see each
question.
other. Which three are you taking to win more championships in their career?
well, see,
It's a really good question.
but Jalen, we have to factor in the team to a degree. Obviously, these three guys are the catalyst as to why the team is great or not great. But that Dallas,
The team's not gonna stay the same no matter.
play the game, people. Just
True.
like who you
Yeah, I
like.
know.
I said Ant. I said
He
Ant.
said
I
Whitney
said
gonna
Ant.
get 10.
Yeah, just play the game. Just play the game, bro. Pick
I said
one.
Ant. I
You
said
got
Ant.
Ant. Who you got?
Man, that's hard. Give me SGA.
Oh no.
You just like being the oddball
Yeah,
of the
you
whole
just-
crew.
You just got
bro.
some Philadelphia Eagles ass fans.
But that's the reason why I said like it's hard to just take the one guy versus the team, because if we're talking the team, I like the Thunder. But if I'm
well,
talking to one guy, give me Ant 100%.
SGA gonna get traded before he would. to another
That
team.
shit up. Nick, he's not getting traded.
He's gonna get
I'm
traded.
going,
Yeah, MVP candidate getting traded. That shit
Tell
crazy.
you who I know Ken not picking.
They did it to
already
DeRozan.
know.
Shit.
You
Nah, it's
already
Luka.
Tell you who I know.
I don't even
I
see him,
know.
bro.
There's only two
That's why
options
you
up there.
put you up on
There's
the
two options up there for Ken. It ain't even three.
It's only
It's just
two.
two pictures up there for Ken.
I think it's Luka, man. Luka, because either way, if he stays on Dallas, I think they're gonna have to get him a better team, quote unquote, or if he leaves, because the clock is running for him right now. Like he has to kind of make a decision very soon. Like, yo, do I want out of here? Or and I think in either scenario, they're gonna want to make Luka bigger than Ant, in my opinion, bro. I think that him and Luka gonna be fighting for number one, number two. Like, who's the next guy for the guard? If Luka lives up to his potential.
And SGA gonna sneak in and take it from both of them.
No, I think
Pause, come
Luka and Ant
Yeah,
both
that was
have
crazy.
the
No
mentality.
giddy, bro. Chill.
They definitely both have mentality, but I'm always betting on Black, bro.
Oh,
So give me Ant. But yeah, Luka definitely got the mindset he needs to win
I-
the title because
Yeah.
he be lighting the Clippers up. He was like, I damn near felt bad for Kawhi.
Really?
And
Really,
Paul.
it was Kyrie.
Yeah.
I hate to pick Luka, but I think it's Luka. I would rather pick Anthony Edwards, but I just don't think, like you said, with mindset, and even when Anthony Edwards is saying that Karl Anthony Towns is the best offensive player on the team, Luka would never say that. I don't think that he has that mindset as to where I'm going to win a championship one day. I'm not sure if the other two guys have that.
Yeah, that's real.
But
I can get with that.
Yeah, I just got a couple of super chats, but we need to show OKC some love, because I remember people were saying that they might not make it out the first round. Was that true?
Yeah, that
Depending
was
on matchup.
Yeah.
Now we got.
I said that from get-go. Run the tape. Run the tape. I said if they played the Lakers, that they wouldn't have won the first round.
It would have been tough.
What would happen if they played the team they playing? What did you say would happen
with the Pelicans?
Yeah.
No, I think he picked on the Pelicans. But the thing is,
we didn't know the matchups.
I didn't remember. I'm just asking.
No, we didn't know the matchups. I just said that if OKC plays the Lakers or the Warriors, I don't know if they make it out.
Right.
I think the Lakers would have beat OKC.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought Phoenix was gonna beat Minnesota.
Hell
no way. You said that on there?
I don't think I did, but I thought so.
Why?
I thought so. I just felt like the stars were going to show up, and I just didn't trust the others.
They did.
It wasn't. They did. They really did. It wasn't Ant. It was playoff Gobert.
It was the great light.
Kate,
Well, here's the thing,
like
though. Phoenix beat Minnesota in the regular season 3
I know.
times. So I'm just saying going in, and I also felt Minnesota was also on the brink depending on the matchup. Now, Phoenix didn't scare me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't think that they would lose the first round of Phoenix. But if they would have played the Lakers, I think that would have been a tough go for them too.
They proved themselves after that first game.
You don't think Lakers would have been a tougher out for Minnesota than Phoenix was?
No,
you tripping?
I think maybe OKC, but not against Minnesota.
Somebody said in the chat too that Denver played with their food, so they kind of played with.
Yeah,
and I saw somebody say, I was like, that's exactly
I
right.
disagree with that because the last series was close. So no, they were just they just couldn't execute. So, but point taken. Right. Birdman at 5-0 members chat last week. It said I was a new member of BitCap. Yeah, I didn't think that was the case. It was weird why they did that. Andre, Ben Roethlisberger, and Matt Ryan were drafted to great rosters and winners of the playoffs the rookie year, so it's not impossible.
It's not.
They weren't looked at as Caleb Williams though. So
see, but Q to that point, they look at Caleb Williams bad. People talk trash about Caleb Williams.
Yeah, but there's gas. Like there was no gas for Matt Ryan and Ben.
Nobody do.
They talk
either one of them will be
Miami of Ohio. Come on, y'all, versus USC.
What are you talking about?
Shout out Andre.
It was Boston College for Matt Ryan. Nobody gave a damn about what they was doing.
But shout out Andre for the super chat. I'm not gonna shit on what you said.
Yep.
It's just,
no, he was making the point to.
It's not impossible, but you're wrong.
Yeah,
you were refuting with
Andre. Thank you.
Yeah. Igwe of Art, FIFO a better father than Drake.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Igwe.
I agree with that.
Very low bar.
I agree with that.
CD, KD, the idea is greater than KD, the actual production.
Y'all disrespecting KD. I promise you.
That is true.
I'm with you, Nick.
That's a lot of KD in theory.
We go from how you go from winning MVPs and rings to being like, oh, you're not even a top 10, 20 player of all time.
Malone did the same thing.
How you go from riding Steph coattails to being what you are now?
That's crazy. You know what?
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think KD at this point does he fit in the system like Golden State? Can you plug him in? You know he's going to be efficient, but he's not the leader. Like he's not going to take you to the promised land.
KD would be so good. KD would be so good.
That's why I asked.
After Brooklyn, I said after he put the toe on the line to barely lose. The next year when they faced Boston, I don't think anybody was looking at, saying part-time Kyrie playing like a net 90 worker. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude.
Lost to Kyrie in a jump.
I just remember a lot of people hyping up this Phoenix roster at the beginning.
Bro, they lost to KD. I mean, they lost to Kawhi Leonard and a bunch of roundabout players. Like, that's when it changed.
Mm-hmm.
When Kawhi went in there and beat him.
He got swept by Boston.
Or that. Either one.
That's what I mean. When Tatum and them just manhandled them the entire series, and KD looked like he couldn't even get to his spots, that's when we started to look at, KD's ability athletically is kind of, it's starting to grind down a little bit. He can't get to his spots the same way on Marcus Smart. It was guys on Jaylen Brown. It was like, KD's supposed to be able to pull up over anybody. But now his elevation, his agility is waning. So I don't think people, and rightfully so, people shouldn't expect KD to be the lead dog. And he would be perfect in Miami next to a healthy Jimmy Butler. It'd be a great tandem. But it's like you have to have a Spoelstra level coach to bring out that greatness in KD. You can't put him with, and I think Frank Vogel's a pretty solid coach. I mean, that's just my opinion. But you put him with less than stellar coaches, you're not going to see KD be great. Steve Kerr is already in the Hall of Fame now. You know what I mean?
Steve Kerr ain't shit. Fuck Steve Kerr.
I feel it, but you can't say that to people who really watch basketball because they're going to look at you crazy. So.
I seen Andre Iguodala make draw up plays for the Golden State Warriors. Steve Kerr ain't do shit.
That was slick, bro.
I know what he was trying to say. I'm letting a lot of shit slide today because I'm not trying to argue with y'all niggas no more.
It was so smooth too, bro.
It was. It kind of registered late, bro. I was like, wait a minute. But okay, that's the show. We're about to get out of here, but how will Doc Rivers find a way to lose this game? Because right now they're up in the third quarter by almost double digits, and they still have a whole quarter to go.
Yeah. Doc just needs to be banned from coaching.
Damn.
Hey, bro, Doc is. Well, here's the thing, banned is crazy, but if I'm a GM or owner, why am I giving that man a job again?
Well, they already did. But
what do you mean? He got read up?
I thought they gave him a multi-year contract when they signed him.
I think they did.
They did. They didn't give him a multi-year.
The Bucks can't get rid of him because they already paying three other coaches at this.
Yeah. We talked about it before. Yeah, so he there, bro. He there. So maybe they did that to piss off Giannis. They were like, all right, well, shit. You since you think you run everything around here.
Doc Rivers, hell no.
That's funny. Are we sure Giannis not greater all time than KD? He got more MVPs, Defensive Player of the Years, than he won without joining a 73-9 team that beat.
So that's the thing is like we discount KD for those rings, but we praise Steph for the same rings that he won with KD. It don't make sense.
You know why?
I mean, it does make sense.
You know why?
That's his team.
You know why? You know why? Because without Curry, it's not even fathomable that they're going to win the championship.
Exactly.
You bring KD in because it's just like adding a bazooka to a tank. It's like, all right, who gonna fuck with us now?
But before we get KD with that Steph team, they only won one title, and that was based off of a lot of. Let's look at context. There was a lot of injuries that happened. Like
you don't win a title by accident.
I didn't say they won it by accident. I'm just saying like they lost Kyrie and K-Love in that same final series. Just like we give credit to Kawhi Leonard in that title that they won in Toronto, but we also know that Klay Thompson and KD busted their Achilles in that series. That series looks totally different if they're healthy. Am I not right?
I mean, does LeBron James ring happen if Draymond? You can't do that. You know what I mean?
But that wasn't based off injury. That was based off stupidity. That's different.
But you could say the absence of
one
game.
Because it went 7. But that series went 7, so Draymond could have made it up in 6 or.
But they still suspended him. So what you're saying is the variable that you're bringing up is absences. So if absence is your variable, you can't take it out when Draymond is.
I'm saying absences for a whole series though, not even just one game. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. Look, I'm gonna break it down in the plainest terms. Steph Curry is the cake, Klay Thompson and Draymond Green is the frosting, and KD was the fucking cherry on top, bro. You can still eat that cake without that cherry, my nigga. And it's gonna taste good.
That was a wild analogy.
It was.
Let's end the show right there.
I thought he had something too. He started talking. I was like, oh.
Eat the cake, anime. Get the hell up out of here. Stop talking basketball.
He playing basketball, nigga.
All right, man. That's the show, man. We get delirious the later he get. He talking about cake, cherries, frosting, all kind of stuff, man. We'll catch you guys.
We gotta break it down. Wow. Gotta break it down for the simple-minded basketball guy.
All right, man. We out of here.